problem.
But they've got to have somebody to get it to it.
Absolutely. The big problem with the Raider passing game has been the accuracy of their quarterback, Jay Schrader. Don't be surprised if this game turns out to be like the one 3 years ago when the Raiders won it 6-3.
These are the top two teams in yielding points defensively in the league. It's a warm day in Southern California. 82 degrees, winds out of the west at 15, 45% humidity in the forecast for partly sunny. 75,000 expected today. The Raiders won the toss, and Kevin Butler will kick off. He's been hampered by a sore hip flexor muscle, and there was some thought that Steve McMichael might kick off today, but it will be Butler. Deep are Jamie Holland, number 82, and Ron Brown, number 24. These two teams meet for only the 7th time ever. The series tied 3 games apiece. The Raiders won all 3 in the 70s, the Bears all 3 in the 80s. Jamie Holland at the 4. Tries to break the tackle, but he's belted down at the 21-yard line. The stop made by Maurice Douglas. Now here comes Jay Schrader, 6'4", 215-pound quarterback from UCLA, hitting 52% of his passes over the course of the first 3 games. And offensively, he's joined up front by Graves, Wisniewski, Mosbar, Max Montoya, Steve Wright, the tight end, Ethan Horton playing for the injured Mike Dial, Alan Smith, and the wide receivers Fernandez and Willie Galt. Galt with a great speed matched up against Lemuel Stinson all day today. And Stinson immediately lays off 8 yards on the near side of the field. 1st and 10, Los Angeles. Galt starts in motion. Schrader looks right, pumps, and throws. Tipped and almost picked off. Incomplete at the 30. Intended for Marcus Allen, and Mark Carrier there to break it up.
Jay Schrader told us yesterday he wanted to throw on 1st down. This is Marcus Allen split out wide against Wolford, and Jay Schrader throws this ball way too late, gives Carrier the chance to break on the ball and knock it down.
That'll make it a 2nd down and 10, and already for the Bears, Steve McMichael has replaced Dan Hampton. So William Perry moves to right tackle, McMichael to left tackle. They said they would play tag team all afternoon. Hampton out, McMichael in. Backs are split. 2nd and 10. 7-step drop by Schrader. Good downfield coverage, and Schrader will tuck it and run. Caught and dropped at the 28-yard line. And that young Bear secondary, Dan, is giving good downfield coverage.
Well, that's what they've done all year, Vern. They've given the defensive front 4, Stent, Hampton, Perry, and Armstrong, a chance to get to the quarterback. That time the Raiders' offensive line did a wonderful job of giving Schrader a lot of time and opening up a hole for him to pick up about 7 yards.
That makes it a 3rd down and 3. Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator. This is now Vince's defense. Matter of fact, they refer to themselves as Vince's kids. 3rd and 3, opening series of the ball game. Back split behind Jay Schrader. Blitz coming. Schrader pops it out on the right side. It's caught by the tight end, Ethan Horton. And Mike Singletary hauls him out of bounds. But that's a huge gain. 1st down, Los Angeles. Pick up of 18.
Whenever the Bears go to this Bear defense, the weakness is the coverage of the tight end by the linebacker. This time it's Morrissey, number 51. He comes on the blitz, and actually there's nobody for Horton. A fine read by the quarterback Schrader, a missed tackle by the Bears, and the Raiders have a 1st down.
Gain of 18. Ethan Horton, the one-time running back and number 1 draft choice out of North Carolina, converted to a tight end now, and it's extended his career. That only his 3rd catch of 1990. 1st and 10. The Raiders at their own 46. William Perry playing over the nose. Here's blitz on the run, and Marcus Allen fumbled. Down by contact is the call, so there is no fumble. It happened after Allen was down, so Mark Carrier's fumble recovery will not go.
Well, I think what actually happened, Vern, is the ball came loose as Allen hit the ground, and the NFL rules say that the ground cannot cause a fumble. But that was the Raiders' first running play of this ball game, and they're already out to midfield.
At the 50-yard line. This time kind of a cocked eye to the right side. Cross to Marcus Allen. He's got Steve Smith in front, and Marcus Allen inside the 45, and that might be another Los Angeles first down. Ron Rivera, number 59, doing the defensive work. Move the chain.
Interesting, in talking to Jay Schrader yesterday about who exactly is calling the plays, he says, well, it's actually play calling by committee. Sometimes it's head coach Art Shell. Sometimes it's coordinator Walsh. Sometimes Jay just turns his back on the sidelines and calls it himself.
Matter of fact, he said it's a problem because there are as many as 6 men on that phone hookup. And trying to get the play called and into the huddle in time often has been a problem. 1st and 10. 3 wide receiver set. Here comes the blitz from the outside. Willie Gault calls it down. That's another Los Angeles first down. Donnell Wolford with the tackle. Willie Gault with the catch.
Again, the Bears come with the all-out blitz, and Schrader is doing a wonderful job of recognizing it and getting to the guy that is open. This time it's Gault on just a quick out. Good catch in the fingertips, and it's another first down for L.A.
Willie Gault with that great speed, matched against Lemuel Stinson for much of the afternoon. Stinson also a speedster. With Andy Parker, the backup tight end. First down and 10 Los Angeles. See if they throw on first down here from the 33. Nope. Marcus Allen weaves his way to the 26. This marvelously gifted tailback who has been having difficulties here. He's splitting playing time with Greg Bell.
Yeah, the real key to whoever's carrying the ball is that big offensive line of the Raiders. When you add 285 pounds of Wisniewski to 290-pound Rory Graves on that left side, it's very reminiscent of when the Raiders had Upshaw and Art Shell running left.
2nd and 3, no score, the opening drive of the ball game. Ball on the 26. Flag is down, and Steve Smith has a first down if the play stands, but there are 3 flags on the field.
You know, that first flag was offsides or something, but that second flag was definitely holding against the Raiders, thrown by the umpire.
Referee today is Gene Barth.
We have 55, 70 opening offense, 76 in a neutral zone defense, penalties offset, replay the down.
That is Steve Wisniewski, but the penalty was on Don Mosbar for the Raiders, and then 76 Steve McMichael for the Bears. 2nd down and 3. We'll play it again. Well, Los Angeles has had problems scoring in the first half of its first 3 games. Last week, 34 rushes and 20 passes. Today, it's 3 and 3. 2 wide receivers split wide right on 2nd down and 3. They give it to Smith. And this time he's caught short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The tackle made by Mike Singletary. And a fumble.
Bears have got it down there. Ron Rivera. First carry for Steve Smith. He coughs it up, and the Bears have it. Big defensive play.
That's only the 2nd fumble lost by the Raiders this year. And Jim Harbaugh comes on at quarterback now. The first time in his career he has started 4 consecutive games. This is his 4th. Chosen as the starter over Mike Tomczak by Mike Ditka at the end of preseason. Offensively, Harbaugh will be joined up front by Covert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, Van Horn, and the tight end James Thornton. Johnny Bailey does start for Neil Anderson. Broken rib for Anderson. Brad Muster, Dennis Gentry starts in place of Wendell Davis. And the other wide receiver is Ron Morris. Davis is out with a pulled hamstring. They did review that play, by the way, and it stands. Here's Harbaugh. 16 passes last week, 16 passes the week before. Not completed, attempted. And Ditka told us yesterday, believe it or not, we will throw today. But not on first down. Johnny Bailey out to the 30-yard line. Defensively for Los Angeles, and it's been the key to their 3-0 record. Davis, Golick, Wise, and Townsend. Of course, Howie Long is on injured reserve. Robinson, Ricky Ellis, and Tom Benson are the linebackers. McDaniel replaces the rookie Gary Lewis. He's on IR. Lionel Washington and Eddie Anderson. And a pregame change, Elvis Patterson will start in place of Mike Harden. He's on the inactive list with a neck injury today. 2nd and 5. Ron Morris is the motion man, followed by Lionel Washington. Johnny Bailey, 9th round draft choice out of Texas A&I. Those of you in the Chicago area are very familiar with his story. All-time leading rusher at Texas A&I, broke the record held by Tony Dorsett, but size thought to be a problem, so he lasted until the 9th round.
Well, I think today we've already seen just how Johnny Bailey is going to be effective. He's not going to run over many people. He's not going to break that first tackle. What he's going to do is make the first guy, maybe the second guy, miss, and that's how he's going to get his yards.
Mike Wise is the injured Raider, number 90. So while the medical staff tends to him, time has been called on the field. 8:55 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
Walk into a television showroom, and someone will probably try to sell you a set with a foreign name on it. Before you see their choice, ask to see yours. Ask to see the first TVs that combine digital video and audio, with a performance to back it up. Ask for picture-in-picture with triple flashback. Ask for a single remote that can learn to run everything. Ask to see a Zenith. For true innovation in television, quality never looked more like a Zenith.
In this room is a remarkable entertainment. It can make you laugh. Or change moods. It'll take you around the world. It comes with 50,000 people to help. It does more, faster. Yet for all you get, it costs amazingly little. It's AT&T Long Distance.
Introducing the new Dodge Shadow America and Plymouth Sundance America. The perfect cars for an imperfect world. To help protect you in an accident, they have driver's airbags. To protect you in an oil shortage, they have excellent gas mileage. And to protect you in a tight economy, they're the lowest priced American cars. Sundance America. Shadow America. Making the world a little less imperfect.
Mike Wise, the injured Raider, helped off the field, and Mike Charles has taken his spot. It appears they'll check on his right ankle after they take him into the locker room. And having already lost Howie Long, that's a spot on the field that Art Shell's team doesn't need to lose anybody. Shell, 8-0 as the head coach here at the Coliseum. He's never been defeated. 3rd and 2. No score, opening quarter. Bailey wrapped up and shoved back. 4th down.
Well, this is where the Bears are going to be hurt because Bailey just doesn't have the size or strength to muscle through this first guy. And it's Golick with one arm, stops him, and then he gets help from Jerry Robinson. At 180 pounds and only 5'8". Tough job for Johnny Bailey trying to pick up that 1 yard.
Get some encouragement first from Johnny Rowland, the offensive backfield coach, and then from Neil Anderson. Tim Brown is back to return the punt of Maury Buford. There's Brown out all of last year with an injury. That's a nice punt by Buford, but it is returnable. Brown at the 16, now back to the 15. Watch out. Maurice Douglas saves some more. It's a 20-yard return after a 52-yard punt as Maury Buford outkicked the coverage. Time has been called.
Douglas brought him down.
Chrysler Fifth Avenue, Imperial, and New Yorker Salon are all engineered with ABS brakes, so you're safer when you drive. With our hands-free visor phone, you're safer making a call. Our remote entry system means you're safer at night. And our driver's airbag means you're safer in an accident. Chrysler Safety. Because the most important thing that goes into our cars is you.
There's a new attitude at Northwest Airlines, a new dedication to service. You can see it in our on-time performance, the best of the top 7 U.S. airlines. That's our commitment, to make sure you're on time for your commitments.
You've heard it said before. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. LaserJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. They'll get you noticed.
There are those who thirst for something different, something beyond the ordinary. For them, there is a beer that refreshes like no other. Michelob Dry. Once you've experienced its bold taste, with no aftertaste, there's no going back.
As the days do so often, today started out cloudy, but the fog is lifted. The clouds have cleared away. A sunny afternoon in Southern California. Vern Lundquist along with Dan Fouts, the two undefeated teams meeting each other this afternoon, Chicago and the Raiders. Mike Ditka, who has been wearing a black leather jacket the last couple of weeks, doffed that and went for the Indian shirt. First and 10, Los Angeles from the 37. No score, first quarter. Play fake, Schrader back. Lot of protection, goes deep, and he's got Willie Gault wide open. Gault has to wait for it, but it's first and goal at the 4. Oh, did he put a move on Lemuel Stinson?
Play action on first down. The Raiders have been running it pretty good. There's the fake to Allen, and now watch the javelin toss here by Schrader. This ball carries 70 yards in the air. Gault has to slow down just a bit, or he would have been in the end zone for a touchdown. That's Raider football.
Run it, throw it deep. Willie Gault from Jay Schrader. A 59-yard pass play, and Lemuel Stinson was the victim of the Gault speed and then the move to the inside. And the Raiders use one of their 3 timeouts, so Jay Schrader comes over to the near side. Well, last week, Schrader hit that 66-yarder to Mervin Fernandez in the wind, but that was mostly Fernandez running.
Yeah, and the one thing they've always said about Jay Schrader is he has a strong arm. I think that's the first thing anybody ever says about the guy, and he really let that one go. In fact, there is a prevailing wind, and he threw it right into the teeth of the wind. That may be why it hung up there, and that Gault didn't catch it and walk on into the end zone, but he was behind Stinson by about 5 yards.
Schrader averaging 17.9 yards per completion this year. Forcade, well, that's the one stat that John Forcade has that's to his advantage. Jay Schrader, known for the gun, puts it on display then.
An interesting choice of plays. Talking to Schrader yesterday, said he wanted to throw it a lot on first down, but then talking to Shell before the game, he said, well, we'll see about that. Maybe Schrader's ignoring some of those signals.
Up the middle, flag is down in the end zone, and the play is stuffed at the 3-yard line. Marcus Allen was the ball carrier. Well, Jay told us yesterday, in order for us to beat the Bears, I've got to have a good day, and so do Fernandez, Gault, and Tim Brown. Delay of
12
game.
men in the field for the defense.
Whoa.
They should have had 12 men on the long pass to Gault.
That's right.
One guy real deep. The problem here is the Bears don't know whether to get in their goal line defense here or stay in the standard defense, and they're substituting back and forth. Obviously, they got caught one too many.
Dan Hampton comes out. Jay Schrader looks back at the Raider bench. First and goal now from the 2. No score. Second time the Raiders have been inside the 30. They fumbled at the 23 in their first possession. Backs in the eye. Double tight end set. Andy Parker and Ethan Horton. Allen, that patented dive up top, and he is stopped at the 1. Last week in that game against Pittsburgh, he came in on a short yardage play, and everybody thought he was going over the top. He burrowed in and got the touchdown. That much.
Watch number 51 if you can from this angle. Jim Morrissey gets great penetration, and he comes from the outside and hauls Allen down. Questionable whether Allen would even have gotten close, because it looked like Singletary and the boys right up the middle had him stopped also.
Chicago defense had held opponents to only 2 touchdowns inside the 20. The Bears have only given up 2 touchdowns this year. Horton starts in motion. Allen comes left. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Well, we've really seen a classic Raider football exhibition here. The long pass to Galt, and then running left behind Graves and Wisniewski. Fullback block out by Steve Smith, and Marcus Allen is well into the end zone. Singletary knows it's coming, and so does the Fridge. Great block there by Mosbar, cutting off the Fridge, and Allen's in for 6.
And a good block by Steve Smith on David Tate. This is the first time this year that the Raiders have scored in other than the fourth quarter. A touchdown, that is. Marcus Allen gets the TD, and Los Angeles is on top 7-0 with 6:01 to go, quarter number 1.
Introducing the new Dodge Shadow America and Plymouth Sundance America. The perfect cars for an imperfect world. To help protect you in an accident, they have driver's airbags. To protect you in an oil shortage, they have excellent gas mileage. And to protect you in a tight economy, they're the lowest priced American cars. Sundance America. Shadow America. Making the world a little less imperfect.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
I didn't want to be the first, but when I heard how many other guys had already tried Rogaine, I did too. Now I have only one regret. I just wish I'd tried Rogaine sooner.
For more information about Rogaine with minoxidil, see your doctor or call this number.
If you're wondering whether Rogaine is for you, call this number, and we'll give you an incentive to find out. A certificate worth $10 toward a consultation visit with your doctor. Call 1-800-556-4800.
When are we going to get a maid?
We don't need a maid. That's why we had kids.
Catch the show People Magazine called one of the season's happiest surprises.
Yes.
Lenny Wednesday.
59 of the 63 yards on that drive came on a pass to Willie Galt and Marcus Allen, 1-yard touchdown run. And it took only 1:43. The Raiders on top 7-0. Nice deep kick by Jeff Jager, and that'll be a touchback. The Bears will start at their own 20-yard line. Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown by the Raiders, Dan.
Just outstanding blocking up front. Take a look at Don Mosbar, number 72, and then the job out here by Graves and Andy Parker on Richard Dent. First, Mosbar gets off very fast and stops the Fridge's momentum cold, and then the double team on Dent with the kick out. Perfect execution for L.A.
Mosbar with the key block. And here is Neil Anderson into the ball game already. Yesterday, he told us, and Mike Ditka told us, he will not play. This morning, he told Ditka he thought he wanted to. So Anderson has replaced Johnny Bailey. Harbaugh will throw on first down. Deep right side. And that's Dennis Gentry in the foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. There are no flags. Yards on 1st and 10.
And it all started in the very first yard, Vern. Great move off the line of scrimmage as Gentry gets behind McDaniel, and then a strike from Harbaugh. And I was afraid we might have a 6-3 game here with a lot of defense. This is great. 80 yards, touchdown for the big playmaker, Dennis Gentry.
80-yard touchdown reception. Gentry, who got the start today, in place of the injured Wendell Davis. And we've said it before, every time he's on the field, something good seems to happen for Chicago. Butler's extra point is up and good, and just like that, there is a flag down in the backfield. Might be running into the kicker. Elvis Patterson, number 43, came through and apparently got to Butler. Here's Gene Barth.
Head linesman advised me that he got pushed into the kicker. There's no foul on the play. Point is good.
William Perry apparently pushed Elvis Patterson in.
Take a look at it from the right side here. There's the Fridge with a big push. I'm not so sure that's a good call, but it really doesn't matter.
Last week, Jim Harbaugh threw for 43 yards in the entire game. He gets 80 yards on that pass play.
Why is it so difficult to communicate? Why do people hurt each other? Why do some guys have a hard time adjusting? Why? Ask why. Try Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste. It's dry brewed for no aftertaste. It's the perfect refreshment for the games people play.
You know, people drive into my Meineke shop for a low price, and they get it. But I own this business, and I know that price isn't the only important thing. Service is important. Quality workmanship and attention to detail are important. Top-notch parts are important. In fact, at Meineke Discount Mufflers, nothing is unimportant. That's why the only thing we discount is price. At my shop and all the independently owned Meinekes nationwide, nothing is unimportant.
The Chrysler New Yorker 5th Avenue is engineered with ABS brakes, so you're safer when you drive. Our hands-free visor phone means you're safer making a call. Our remote entry system means you're safer at night. And our standard driver's airbag means you're even safer in an accident. Chrysler safety. Because the most important thing that goes into our cars is you.
Howie Long, the inspirational leader of the Raider defense on injured reserve, so he has to be content to sit on his helmet in civvies. And not too pleased about the Raiders giving up that 80-yard pass play on 1st and 10. Harbaugh to Dennis Gentry as we are tied at 7. And Kevin Butler will kick off. That's going to be another short one, which will bring about the dismay of Mike Ditka. Jamie Holland has some room. Out to the 35-yard line. David Pate with the tackle, number 49, 26 yards on the return. One play, 80 yards. Harbaugh to Gentry.
And remember, they brought Neil Anderson into the ball game. Raiders obviously looking for Anderson to carry the ball. Good play selection by the Bears. Fake the ball to Anderson, throw the bomb, and got a tie game.
Jay Schrader. 3 of 4 for 87 yards. And Greg Bell is into the backfield now for the Raiders, along with Steve Smith. So Marcus Allen, having gotten a touchdown in the last series, now gets to sit it out. Schrader. Out of bounds. Mervin Fernandez. But they are throwing on 1st down, as Jay Schrader said they must.
You watch this game, you get the feeling that both these teams don't want to give up the title of being undefeated. Playing almost as if there's a playoff spot on the line or a playoff game itself.
That's pretty good. How'd you like to go into the quarterback for contract renegotiation with that staff?
I wouldn't have had to play for 15 years.
2nd and 10, 7-7 ball game. Schrader again with good protection, and again it's called. And again it's Lemuel Stinson. Well, we talked with the 5'9", 160-pound defensive back for the Bears yesterday. Lemuel Stinson, he's been victimized twice now.
And he has a lot of respect, obviously, for the speed of Willie Galton. We asked him how he was going to play him, and he said, well, he'd like to mix it up, some bump and run, and then some where he plays off him. Right now, he's just giving him way too much room. Got to tighten up, try to change up that coverage because Galton's having a field day.
Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They have clinched the National League East. 1st down and 10. The Raiders, 7-7 ball game. That's Smith, the motion man. The toss, Greg Bell. Smith with a kickoff block. Bell with a cutback run. And a fumble. But he got it back. It's first down, L.A. at the 16. Big gains on offense. That's a 21-yard pick.
Well, Bell knows he's only going to get about 8 carries today. That's what he's been averaging so far, but this is what he's all about. He's a cutback runner. There's the big hole, and now here's the cutback against the grain. Breaks one tackle, and very fortunate to get back on that fumble.
Second fumble for the Raiders. They lost the last one. And it's first and 10 at the 16. Now Greg Bell splits out as a wide receiver, way to the left side. Steve Smith plows for a couple to the 13. Fred Washington, number 91, is in there defensively, and he makes the tackle. We are at the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. It, of course, seats 92,000. They expected a crowd of better than 75, and as you can see, a lot of seats are filled for this intra-conference matchup. Los Angeles and Chicago both undefeated. We are tied at 7. And a message from Gene Barth.
The clock to the open end is not correct. The correct clock is down here in the runway, 3:36.
Well, the clock in the open end also says 3:36, but maybe the eyes are getting a little rusty. 7-7 ball game. Back split, second down. Bell with the toss. And again, the kick-out block, but a good defensive job this time by Mike Singletary, the middle linebacker.
A lot of talk about Singletary's future, but he's very much focused on what's at hand today. He remembers that cutback run from Greg Bell, and now this time he stays in his lane, and he really sticks him. That's the kind you practice with a tackling dummy in the summer, where you wrap your arms around, pick it up, and slap him down on his back.
Now Tim Brown and Marcus Allen come in for the Raider offensive lineup on third down. Three-step drop, Schrader on the line, caught, touchdown, drop. A little behind Mervyn Fernandez. He could not complete the grab. And Singletary was right in the face of Jay Schrader.
Yeah, watch Singletary, number 50, right in the middle here. He's going to get a hand on this ball. Nobody's there on the pickup, just enough to cause that ball to go end over end and prevent a touchdown. Here's the hit right as Schrader's letting it go, and that ball is a lot of corners on it as it goes to the end zone. Incomplete.
Jeff Jaeger will try the field goal. He's perfect 3 of 3. This is his first from inside 30 yards this year. A 27-yard field goal. And it is good. That is the third Raider possession of the half. And they have been inside the 30 on each of the 3. They fumbled on the opening series. Got a touchdown run from Marcus Allen on the second, and this time a 27-yard field goal from Jeff Jaeger, and they lead 10-7 here. Kansas City with an early lead as Houston leads San Diego. Week number 4. Any surprises? Are you surprised at how easily the Raiders have moved the ball so far?
Well, both teams. I mean, you talk about easy. The Bears went 80 yards in one play, but the Raiders' game plan has been to throw it on first down and avoid those second and long and third long situations where the Bears' front line can tee off and get those sacks. Bears came in tied for the league in the lead with 11 sacks, but so far, just that one play by Singletary was the only pressure that Schrader has faced so far.
Matter of fact, Dan, just to underline that point, in the opening game of the year, Jay Schrader was sacked 5 times by the Denver Broncos. He was sacked only once against Seattle and none last week, so only 1 sack for Schrader in the last 2 ball games.
And he's getting rid of the ball faster, and that's what Coach Mike White has helped him with quite a bit. Talked to Mike earlier in the week about his relationship with Jay. He said, well, I'm his coach, I'm his counselor, and I'm his confidant. I hope he's getting paid for all 3 jobs. Certainly is paying dividends so far today with a 10-7 lead.
Well, Jay Schrader said yesterday the biggest thing that Mike White has brought, besides serving as a friend, is that he has increased the speed with which Schrader gets rid of the football. How about that kickoff by Jeff Jaeger? That'll come back to 20. 10-7 ball game. with 2:21 to go in the opening quarter, and Jim Harbaugh. A last-minute word of advice from Mike Ditka.
We really have two pumped-up football teams. When you see a kicker hit the ball that far, you know just how contagious the feeling is.
And the offensive conversation. There's Steve Wright on the right side. Look at the gray hair. We were talking with Steve yesterday about when the gray hair came. He said, actually, it goes back to my rookie season 8 years ago with the Dallas Cowboys when I tried to make the team as a free agent. He did. And he's been around for a long time. 1st and 10. Anderson. That's Brad Muster, the fullback. And Muster out to the 35-yard line. Robinson and Ellison with the tackle. Jim Harbaugh 2 for 2.
Yeah, but that's going to cut into his average completion.
Right. Right. 80 yards on the first pass. 16 on the second. From the 36. Anderson in motion. Slip the ball to Mustard. And he picks up a couple up the middle. Mustard coming off a career high last week when he picked up 90 yards.
You know, in talking to Neil Anderson yesterday and all the talk today about whether he'd play or not, well, he is playing, but he's not.
Yes.
The first play was a play action with a big bomb to Gentry. Then there was a play action in the pass to Muster. And now they've moved him out of the formation out to as a wide receiver. He hasn't come near the ball.
Well, he told us yesterday that there is no risk of further injury. He's just going to be in pain for a long time with that broken rib. 2nd down and 9. This time the backs are split. 10-7 ball game. Raiders lead it. And Harbaugh goes deep across the middle. Incomplete. Intended for James Thornton, his tight end. And Ricky Ellison, the one-time San Francisco 49er, was doing the defensive work. Ellison signed as a free agent this year.
Well, and he's happy in this Raider type of scheme where he is the middle linebacker now. The Raiders play the 4-3 defense, similar to what the Bears do. In San Francisco, he was one of 2 inside linebackers. He likes this scheme a little bit better.
So interesting that Matt Millen was released by the Raiders. He now starts for the 49ers. Ellison released by the 49ers, now starts for Los Angeles. 3rd down. 4-man rush by the Raiders, and Harbaugh has to scramble. He is caught and dropped at the 39, punting situation. Greg Townsend and Bill Pickell.
The one thing about Harbaugh's game that has improved is his decision-making. Not throwing the ball up for grabs, not trying to force it in there. He's confident in his running ability, and he's not going to force it down the field. Even though he didn't pick up the first down, he didn't create a turnover that would hurt his ball club.
Final 9 seconds of the first quarter of play. And Maury Buford will kick it away to Tim Brown. Nope. Quarter ended before the snap was made. So you have the punt awaiting as we take time out at the end of the first quarter. The end of the first quarter with our score, Los Angeles 10, Chicago 7.
The Fury in Florida. Number 2, Florida State. Number 10, Miami. The state isn't big enough for the both of them. Next Saturday.
This is my family, my wife Stephanie and our son Christopher. My family and my faith are the most important things in my life. I'm Ron Rivera of the Chicago Bears, and I know how important the family and family values are to the Hispanic community. That's why I belong to an organization called the United Way, Via Unidas. United Way extends us all a chance to volunteer to work together to solve our problems and provide opportunities for our children and our families. United Way works in big cities like Chicago and in small communities like the one I grew up in California. You'll find it working in your community, wherever you live. United Way is there, helping people to help themselves. As a United Way volunteer, I have worked to provide public service announcements both in Spanish and in English to help minority families. In America, we have many precious freedoms, and among them is the freedom to join together to give to organizations like the United Way. When you give, you bring out the best in you. In United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle Dealers, where you get the advantage. The John Company. If you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. And by Bud Pride. Why ask why? Try Bud Pride for refreshment that's beyond question.
We begin the second quarter of play on this final Sunday in September. 10-7, Los Angeles has the lead, and they're about to get the ball as the Bears face a 4th down and 6, and Laurie Buford back to punt. Jim Brown waits at the 20. That's a poor punt off the side of his foot, and Brown will have a chance to return it out to the 37-yard line. Injury report from the Raider bench. Mike Wise, a sprained ankle. The x-rays were negative, and they will give him a chance to test that ankle before seeing if he comes back into the ballgame. Well, they got the fans working down on the sideline.
You know, and both teams have injury problems. They're both undefeated, but the Raiders and that defensive line without Howie Long and #1 pick Anthony Smith, and now you count Wise as if the Bears, they've got a hurdle to get over. They lost running back Mark Green last week, and so far Neil Anderson has been just a player out there.
Here are the Raiders' 4th offensive possession. They've scored on 2 of 3 and had a fumble on the other one. Greg Bell. And he does some weaving work over the right side and out across the 40 to the 43.
It really is a nice mix-up between Greg Bell and Marcus Allen. As you said, Vern, Bell will weave his way through traffic. Marcus Allen's more of a slashing runner.
Can they both stay happy?
As long as they're winning, they can stay happy. But what happens when Bo Jackson comes and he wants a third of the pie? Or more.
They could probably cut a commercial about that. About the effort of the 3. On 2nd down, Schrader back. Looks deep left side, settles right in the zone. Mervyn Fernandez. Nice pass. And Jay Schrader applauds himself. A gain of 16.
Well, he should be applauding his offensive line because they gave him about 4 seconds to get this one off. Outside receivers, Mervyn Fernandez. Willie Gault will clear out, running side by side. There's the clear out, the hook pattern, and the ball is right on target. But Schrader had all day to get that one off. Raiders doing a nice job of mixing the run with the pass. They've kept the Bears defensive line away from the quarterback and offbeat.
Mike Ditka's team confronting a big play Raider offense thus far. That was a gain of 16. Play fake on 1st down. Schrader. That's caught at the 20. Mervyn Fernandez again. Donnell Wolford, and that's a gain of 21.
This is what the Raiders want to do. Is they want to work Fernandez in the intermediate zones. For the Raiders, that's 20 on in. Great job falling down, getting up, making the grab with a defensive back all over him.
On 6 completed passes, the Raiders have accomplished 151 yards passing. 1st and 10. And they have indeed, as Jay Schrader said he wanted to do, been passing on 1st down. That's grammatically incorrect, but they've been aesthetically correct. And now they run on 1st down and gain 3 to the 17. Mike Singletary with the tackle of Greg Bell. 10-7 ball game. The Raiders for the 4th time in this ball game. 5 to 30.
Well, everything's going right for the Raiders now. Watch Greg Bell just make Trace Armstrong, number 93, miss. Armstrong has him dead to right, but Bell with a little shake and bake pulls away and picks up a couple.
Ball on the 17. Greg Bell with 4 carries for 32 yards. It's 2nd and 7. blitz. Schrader off his back foot for Horton, incomplete. Into double coverage for the tight end, trying to sneak into the right-hand corner. And Ron Rivera was one of those who was right with it. Minutes to go in the first half of play. Singletary out on the obvious passing down. That is not to Mike Singletary's liking. David Tate comes in. Bessie Jackson also in, and Marcus Allen in the offensive backfield for the Raiders. Fumble. And the Raiders will have to settle for a try for 3.
Yeah, Schrader's got to be upset with himself. Pulls away a little bit quick here. And Max Montoya, actually Schrader was slow getting away from center, and Montoya with his left hand knocked the ball out of his quarterback's grip. Some type of mix-up in the timing of the snap and the actual delivery of the ball.
Jeff Gossett is the holder, and Jaeger tries his second field goal of the first half of play. 37 yards out. Whoa! Unexpected miss wide right. So the Raiders squander yet another opportunity. 4 times they've been inside the 30, but thus far only 10 points.
So how many cars does Mercedes test crash every year?
Oh, I say about 100. You can never learn enough. Ever since we have it patented, we have been improving this concept of the energy-absorbing car body.
But other companies use the concept.
We have never enforced the patent.
So Mercedes gave away a basic safety advance for free?
There are some things in life that are too important not to share.
And I switched to MCI. And you'd think AT&T would give me a break, right? But no. First thing is, don't you miss our great AT&T service. Can we define great? MCI guarantees I'll be happy with the service. And I get savings. Instant credits on wrong numbers. I mean, everything great. Well, don't you miss our great operators. Do they think they have the monopoly on operators, too? And then he says, would you come back for AT&T savings? Well, I said, can you beat what I get with MCI? Or just give me the facts. Just give me the facts. Give you, what?
Don't get pressured by AT&T. Get the facts.
At Compaq, before we build our desktop personal computers, we look at you. We look at what you do and the power and performance you need to get it done. Since introducing the world's first high-performance 386 PC, Compaq has never stopped, giving you more power, more speed, and the best of the latest technology. To do, well, that's up to you. Compaq. It simply works better.
Any way you count it, the Raiders have had the better of it offensively. 216 yards already in the game. Harbaugh, though, has thrown an 80-yard pass. Neil Anderson is playing. It's 10-7 Los Angeles. But, Dan, you said as we were going to commercial, that's really big that the Raiders have blown those 2 opportunities inside the 30.
Well, and they've been there 4 times, only get 10 points out of it. In a game like this where the Bears are able to hit at any time, that could come back to really give the Raiders some problems later.
Chicago on first down, hands it off to Johnny Bailey, who is back in the lineup in place of Neil Anderson. So Anderson did play, but only as a decoy in the last 2 series for Chicago. And now Mike Tomczak gives Dennis Gentry a little pushback on the field. Greg Landry over to the right. And here's Gentry giving the play to Jim Harbaugh.
Whenever a player comes in with a play and he's running really fast, it usually means the play is to him.
And don't you dare audible. Well, let's watch for Gentry now on second down. 2nd and 7. Harbaugh back. Right side. That was to Gentry. Terry McDaniel said, and Eddie Anderson who's got some tree trunks for thighs.
Well, we'll take a look at Dennis Gentry coming off the line of scrimmage. He's in a tight formation here. Little tiny Dennis Gentry working against McDaniel here. Tries to cut him with a little fake of a block. Now he just slips around, and this is very close to being picked off and close to being caught. But the big thing is that Anderson really laid it to Gentry on the end of that play.
Well, you had it called. Gentry was the designated receiver. Now Gentry comes out. Ron Morris is put bottom of the screen. Second down. Rather, third down and 7. 10-7, Raiders lead it. Out of the shotgun. Takes the handoff. Harbaugh being chased by Townsend. Now being chased by Patel. Pulled down. That's a free football. Touchdown, L.A. And Bill Patel forced it. That is the first fumble lost by Chicago this year.
Yeah, poor decision on Harbaugh's part. Right now, should have thrown the ball away when he got this pressure from Townsend. He circles back and slips. And now it's Aaron Wallace with the big play. The rookie causing the fumble. Townsend with an easy touchdown.
51 instead of 71. It was Wallace who had 2 sacks last week. So Aaron Wallace, the second-round draft choice, forces the fumble, and Greg Townsend, the best pass rusher of the Raiders, gets the touchdown.
They're reviewing it upstairs, so this clearly was a fumble, and this will be the 3rd touchdown scored this year by the Raider defense.
They got 2 in the win over Denver in Game 1, a fumble return and a pass interception return for Pete Ayes.
No, that ball is out.
By the replay official, it's a touchdown.
I think the question was whether Harbaugh had forward throwing motion. He obviously did not.
Well, he did, but he didn't have the ball in his hand when he was coming forward. Oh, I hate that feeling.
Aaron Wallace, number 51, after the initial pressure came from Townsend. High snap, got it with a good hold. Jager's kick is up and good. Gets the touchdown. That, as Dan said, the 3rd time this year that the Los Angeles Raider defense has scored.
If you should take an unexpected trip and your mortgage is protected by Allstate Life Insurance, we can see to it that your family's home is completely paid for. So get some sleep or call an Allstate agent. You're in good hands with Allstate. Allstate doesn't give you an ordinary claim check. Ours lets you rate us. This helps us give you quality service. So next time you get a check from Allstate, we'd appreciate getting one too. You're in good hands with Allstate.
They said we'd never make it, that you were too headstrong and I too set in my ways. But we fooled them, didn't we, Maggie? 10 years ago today, and I wouldn't trade one crazy minute of it. Our baby girl, my measly raise, our little fights over money, the laughs, the whole 9 yards. So sit yourself down and give me your hand just one more time, Maggie.
You're stuck in traffic, slumped in your seat. Bump-a-da-bump-a, beep-doo-beep. Hey, you. Drive through. McDonald's. We got everything under the sun. O.J. cereal, what do you say? Try a brand up and start your day. You can get it to go. And you can take it on the road. Drive through for breakfast at McDonald's.
Whit Newton's tailed by a TV crew.
I'm kind of embarrassed about the whole thing. I can't imagine that it would be any more embarrassing than losing a football game before 5,000 people.
Evening Shade, Friday.
Jager getting set to kick off yet again. A 17-7 Los Angeles lead over the Bears. Gentry chases the ball down, and it goes through his hands and the end zone. That'll be a touchback and come out to the 20. Next week on CBS, we begin with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time. And following that, most of you will see the 49ers as they take on Houston, Detroit at Minnesota, New Orleans at Atlanta. Those are the early games. And some of you later on will see the Green Bay Packers, who won today, A marvelous come-from-behind win against these same Chicago Bears who now trail 17-7. Jim Harbaugh, 2 of 4 for 96 yards. The Raider defense in 1990, they have allowed only 2, and they have now scored 3. And here's Townsend out of TCU. Harbaugh backs in the cocked eye. Cornerbacks defensively up on the line. Now, on the left side, they drop off. Here's Harbaugh with a play fake, and Townsend is right in his back. The catch made by Thornton, the tight end. What a dandy throw. 23-yard gain.
This gives you an idea a little bit about the makeup of Jim Harbaugh. He gets tremendous pressure from the blind side. Probably never saw Townsend. What a catch on the other end by Thornton.
Here is Greg Townsend.
He is really a guy that hasn't received enough credit as far as his ability to do just that. Put the quarterback on his back. When we played against him in San Diego, I always made sure that my guys knew where number 93 was, because I didn't want to see him all day. Unfortunately, I saw too much of him.
He is the leader in sacks for the Raiders this year with 3. First and 10 after the 23-yard gain. Here's a reverse. They hand it off to Ron Morris, who comes to the left and looks for blocking help. Doesn't get much, so he does it all on his own. He had Covert and Gentry down there, but neither supplied a block.
When you play man-to-man, you're going to have a lot of problems. Here's Greg Townsend. He's got contained here on the reverse. Watch whose job it is to block Townsend. Here's a shot for Harbaugh to get back at the defensive end, but look at the athletic ability as Townsend leaps over the quarterback, but he doesn't quite make the tackle, so I guess we got to give Harbaugh credit for making some type of block.
An air block.
Well, those are the or the least painful.
First and 10, Chicago, a gain of 16. They're at the 41 of Los Angeles. Draw play. Anderson's first carry. It's the second time he has touched the ball.
You know, the thing about Anderson and his ribs, you talk about a fractured rib, you talk about a broken rib or rib cartilage or bruised ribs. It all feels the same.
It all hurts.
It all hurts, and it hurts when you cough. It hurts when you laugh. It hurts whenever you have to breathe hard. So Anderson is playing in pain, but there's such a great legacy of players on the Bears playing in pain that he wants to be part of it.
8:04 to go first half. Second down and 7 to Chicago. Wide split behind Jim Harbaugh. 17-7. That's Ron Morris in motion, followed by McDaniel. And now Neil Anderson looked like he was thinking about throwing, but it's a sweep with Thayer and Bortz out in front. And Anderson has a first down at the 30. Mike Charles, number 95, who's playing in the spot normally occupied by Mike Wise, made the tackle. Anderson now with 11 yards on 2 carries.
And the pride of the Bears are starting to show through. The one group of guys we haven't talked about yet today for Chicago is their offensive line, and that time a good example of both guards, Bortz and Thayer, getting out in front, giving Anderson enough room to get up the field, pick up a first down.
Hilgenberg leads them up. Bortz at left guard, Covert at left tackle, Thayer at right guard, and Van Horn at right tackle. First and 10, Chicago trailing by 10. Toss. They fake the reverse, and Johnny Bailey's going to throw it to Thornton, and it's caught by Thornton on the fingertips. First and goal at the 8. Johnny Bailey, the rookie running back from Texas A&I. Now Townsend and Thornton get into it.
Well, who said the Bears are conservative? They ran it 19 times in a row last week, but this is a fake reverse, and then Bailey just throws a dying quail up in the air. Thornton runs under it. Look who's guarding Thornton. Greg Townsend all the way down the field. But the Bears are pulling it all out of the hat. A reverse, a couple of passes, and now the halfback option play.
Let me assure you that Johnny Bailey will never be mistaken for you.
I think the smog has got to get them.
First and goal on the 8. To the 5-yard line, Neil Anderson. And Greg Townsend, number 93, again a part of the tackle. As we reach the 6-minute mark, and Art Shell looks on.
Here's the difference between Neil Anderson and Johnny Bailey as far as running the ball. Watch Anderson make the first guy miss by pulling through the arm tackle right about there. That's Mr. Townsend again. He's in on almost every play, but Anderson makes him miss, and he gets down to the 5-yard line.
Second and goal. Flag is down. Thrown by the linesman on the near side. Backfield in motion, Chicago.
Well, that play really hurts because the Bears had built up a lot of momentum on this drive, and now they get a negative play in the worst possible part of the field.
Illegal motion. 2 men moving at the same time. The setback move when the man went in motion and did not stop. Replay it down. Still second down.
Thus far this year, Chicago 10 times inside the 20. They have scored 6 touchdowns, settled for 2 field goals, and now they have a second down and goal from the 10. Twin receivers to the near side. Now Ron Morris goes in motion. And Harbaugh drops straight back. Lets it go. Incomplete, almost picked off. Morris, the intended receiver, but Eddie Anderson, who has 1 interception this year, almost got his second.
And I'm not sure Harbaugh knows exactly who he wants to throw it to. Here you have Muster. He comes out here. Morris comes down, and they're both in the exact same area. And Harbaugh threw a tweener. There's nobody for Muster to pick up there, and there's the pass to Morris. Not so sure he shouldn't have taken Muster.
Now Mike Tomczak signals into play this time. And Harbaugh has called timeout. So the Bears use 1 of their 3. That stops the clock with 4:51 remaining in the first half. Chicago trails by 10. They have a 3rd and goal from the 10 when we come back.
8-6, hurry and you'll make it.
Delta Airlines ticket agent Sam Singletary knows how to get people moving.
Mr. Franklin, your bag.
But sometimes he has to show off a few moves of his own. The kind of moves that made him a first-string halfback. Sam Singletary shares a feeling with everyone at Delta. He loves what he's doing, and it shows.
We love to fly,
He's the kid.
and it shows.
Everybody's scary.
Who are you?
Menace pops out of every frame. Gene Seymour and Gregory Harrison, Angel of Death, Tuesday.
4:51 to go first half. Chicago Bears trail by 10. They have a 3rd and goal at the Raider 10-yard line. Gentry comes to the near side. Morris is wide to the right. That's Anderson in motion. And Harbaugh slips it on the draw play. It goes to Muster. A flag is down, and so is Muster at the 5. If the play stands, it will bring up a field goal situation. The option may rest, however, with the Raiders.
Appears to be holding against the Bears. Thrown by the umpire again, right at the point of attack.
We're picking up the flag. There was no foul on the play. We're picking up the flag.
You'd like to know why they're picking up the flag, though. I mean, what did he see that made him drop it in the first place? And then why did he change his mind to pick it up? It doesn't make any sense. Either it's a penalty or it's not a penalty.
It would help to communicate what the problem was. So Harbaugh and the Bear offense head over to the sideline, and now Kevin Butler, the hero of last week's win over Minnesota, with a 52-yard field goal with 4 seconds remaining, will kick this one from 27 yards away. So Chicago gets 3 out of the drive. 4:25 remaining in the first half of play, and the Raiders lead it by a touchdown.
Chicago Bears 10.
Every game of baseball's championship season is here on CBS.
You've heard it said before. It's not just what you say. It's how you say it. LaserJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. They'll get you noticed.
Introducing Bases Loaded 2 second season. This is the Major League action you've been waiting for. So authentic, you have to manage your teams based on your players' condition. So real, it puts you right in the game. Oh, you're out. Bases Loaded 2 second season for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And now, take the excitement on the road with Bases Loaded for the Nintendo Game Boy from Jalico. Live action that never ends.
Hi. Oh, I haven't seen you guys in so long.
Well, we can never agree on a restaurant, right? Hey, I ordered already. I found us a great wine.
Oh, a decision maker.
Oh, this is wonderful wine. I had this at David's.
I served this at my place. It was a big hit.
You guys, I was hoping you hadn't tried it yet.
Oh, come on. We finally found something we all agree on, you know? I mean, when was the last time that happened?
Ernest and Julio Gallo invite you to try White Grenache. It will change the way you think about Gallo.
Doug Drabek with a 3-hitter today, and the Pirates clinch the National League East 2-0 win over St. Louis, and after that, they will be at Cincinnati for Game 1 of the National League Championship Series on CBS. 8 o'clock Eastern Time this coming Thursday, as we conclude our first full year of Major League Baseball coverage all the way through the World Series. Butler with the kickoff, and again it is short, this time taken at the 16-yard line by Jamie Holland. Comes to the center of the field and is gang tackled near the 21-yard line. And just a quick correction, that was a 22-yard field goal for Butler a moment ago instead of 27. Now Jay Schrader. He is back on.
But on that drive, Ditka kind of pulled the reins in as they got closer to the end zone, though. They ran the reverse, the big play to Morris, then the fake reverse, the halfback pass to Thornton, and then when they got inside the 10 on 3rd and goal to go, very conservative with the draw play to Muster, but he did pull within 7 points.
Now the Raiders first down and 10. They have been throwing almost 50% of the time on first down. They will not this time. The toss to Marcus Allen, and he's out near the 30-yard line. Tackle is made by Donnell Wolford, number 21.
Well, this is what Art Shell wants, is the change up in his backs, the style. We've seen the cutback running of Bell, now the slashing of Allen. Good kick out block by Steve Smith. He'll block for anybody behind him.
Vince Evans flanks Art Shell. Backup quarterback. And a little medical attention being paid to James Thornton in the sideline of the Bears. 2nd and 3. Steve Smith, big hole. First down at the 43-yard line. Mark Carrier made the tackle after a gain of 13.
Are they going to let the fullback carry the ball this time? Nobody else in the backfield, right behind the right side of Steve Wright and Max Montoya. Nice job of Montoya making the middle linebacker miss Singletary, and that's a big gain for a fullback.
Wide receivers in now for the Raiders, Tim Brown and Sam Grady. So certainly no drop-off in speed when Willie Gault Exits for Grady. 87 yards on the ground for the Raiders already. 1st and 10. The fake toss. Good fake by Jay Schrader. A lot of protection into a double zone. And the pass is picked off. Mark Carrier, the one-time Southern California free safety. And a flag is down back in the backfield.
But it's going to be holding against the Raiders, and the Bears will have the turnover. Now they're going to have 2 flags now. We've got a face mask against the Bears, so this one will all come back.
Offensive holding, 76. Face mask, 72. Defense, it's a replay. Holding offense, defensive face mask, replay. Still first down.
The culprits are Wisniewski and Perry, respectively.
Let's take a look at both of them. There's number 76 with the hold. There's Perry grabbing the quarterback's face mask inadvertently, but that snapped Schrader's head around, and he was probably lucky that Perry did, and probably glad that Perry did reach out and grab him, because that cost the Bears an interception. Interesting, though, the Raiders went right to Grady on the deep play action pass.
And that makes it 1st and 10 again. 17-10 the score. 2:29 before halftime. And Schrader will have his backs in an I formation. Brown comes wide to the right side, works against Donnell Wolford. Marcus Allen. Fumble. Chicago recovery. This is Mark Carrier, and that's a live ball. There was no rule of down by contact. So how about that? Carrier loses an interception on the offsetting penalties and then recovers Allen's fumble. And Art Shell is on the field to argue the Raider cause.
Well, Mark Carrier, back-to-back plays here for the Bears. Allen with a nice gain here. Let's see who pops the ball loose.
Sean Gale.
Sean Gale with the tackle. There's a heads-up play by Carrier getting up. Tim Brown just standing there waiting for a whistle. Carrier goes right by him and picks up about 20 yards down the sidelines.
Watch Tim Brown. He looks at the official instead of reacts to the play.
Absolutely. He's looking for or waiting to hear the whistle, but that is Sean Gale with the left hand, ripped the ball out. Carrier said, hey, listen, I like being on the receiving end of these plays.
They are looking at the replay. The replay official is Mark Burns. Mark Carrier, who played 18 games in this Coliseum while a member of the Southern California Trojans, coming back home for the first time as a pro.
I asked him before the game about his family and how many tickets and all that. He said, you know, when I was playing at SC, I got a lot better complimentary tickets. He's in the...
They're in the upper 2 rows.
You missed the replay. The call stands. First down.
The complimentary seats that the Raiders give out to the opposing team aren't so complimentary. They may be free, but they're way, way up there.
Mark Carrier grew up in the Southern California area. First down and 10, Chicago, with a chance to tie now before halftime. 2:10 remaining. Cap Bozo goes tight to the right side. Ball at the 37. There's a toss to Johnny Bailey. Pitch back to Jim Harbaugh. But there was nobody open, and now in the grasp. Oh, you must be kidding. Wow, the roar from Chicago will be enormous. Gene Barth, the referee, called that in the grasp.
That's one of the worst calls. You talk about abusing a rule. Well, Gene Barth just abused this one.
Oh, my gracious.
Jim Harbaugh is a marvelous athlete. He's over 200 pounds, 220, very strong, and he is not controlled by Terry McDaniel. He may be grasped right there, but there's no control. Harbaugh spins out of that as if McDaniel's not even there. But this is not a play that they can review in the replay booth.
The rule says grasp and control. And somehow Mike Ditka held his composure in the face of that call by Gene Barth. We're at the 2-minute warning.
There's a kind of meditation that a stuntman goes through. Every little bit of experience comes like a voice from the past to help you. Every nut and bolt of the vehicle is either an ally or an enemy.
Attenzione, prego. Cos'è questa cosa qua? Mi sembra una
It's a
cosa
hot new
veramente...
35mm camera from Canon.
It's just a camera.
Sembra
The
sospetto.
Canon Fotura.
Camera.
With futuristic flash, automatic one-hand control, and long-range power zoom lens. Fotura.
You have to come with us.
It's just a camera.
Please.
The new Fotura from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
The temperature never drops below Xerex. That's important to remember at a time like this, when it's very dark and very cold. Ah, you did remember Xerex Antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
You get one chance to kill Steven Seagal. Then, it's his turn. Steven Seagal is marked for death.
Is that right?
Rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
We'll take a look at this at regular speed to see if McDaniel could control or did control Harbaugh. No, McDaniel's 180 pounds. Harbaugh has him by 40. No control there.
It's a loss of 12 and a second down and 22, as they say. Nevertheless, here's Harbaugh, straight drop back this time. Puts a little screen out to Brad Muster, the fullback. He gets a fine block from Thayer. And is down inside the 40 at the 39. That's a gain of 12. 1:44. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. Well, say one thing for Mike Ditka. This has not been a conservative game plan offensively from Ditka and Greg Landry.
Yeah, they've gone Hollywood on us between the 20s. You know, the long pass on the first play to Gentry on that other drive, and now a lot of razzle-dazzle, kind of like his shirt.
4 wide receivers on 3rd and 10. Clock shows 1:18 to go. Harbaugh. The intended receiver was Gentry. Elvis Patterson was defending the play.
Now the decision for Chicago is, do you go for it on 4th and 10 or 11? Do you punt it or do you kick the field goal? I have to believe that if Kevin Butler was 100% healthy, that we'd see a field goal here.
And they're going to bring Maury Buford out. Yeah, Butler with that hip flexor, which is causing him problems on kickoff. You talked to him before the game about why he can kick the field goals and has problems with the kickoffs.
Totally different motion. There's a lot more extension when you're kicking off than there is when you're kicking field goals, although you have to kick it about the same distance. I don't understand it either.
Maury Buford high, and it goes into the end zone. That will come out to the 20. 1:05 before halftime, and coming up at the half, Greg Gumbel, Terry Bradshaw with scores and highlights of all the games played earlier, as well as those that are in progress right now. And there were any number of games decided either at the finish of regulation or in overtime today. A lot of exciting action here on the 4th Sunday of the 1990 season. The Raiders leading here 17-10 in this battle of 2 unbeatens. With 1:05 to go before halftime. Both teams still have their 2 timeouts left.
This guy on the left of our screen right here is an old buddy of mine in San Diego. Doug Wilkerson played guard for the Chargers for about 15 years. Tough to see him wearing the silver and black after all those years in the blue and gold.
First down and 10. Marcus Allen to the 28-yard line. Mike Singletary with the tackle. Yeah, Doug Wilkerson now the strength and conditioning coach for that man, Art Shell. Art named the head coach here just about a year ago. It was after the 4th game in 1989 that Mike Shanahan was released, and the longtime Raiders star who is a member of the Hall of Fame. Matter of fact, he and Mike Ditka, the only 2 active coaches who are members of the Hall of Fame, opposing each other here today. Fernandez and Brown join Willie Gault at wide receivers. And somewhat conservatively, Art Shell elects to keep it on the ground, but they do get the first down.
Well, Art has gone in the shell with his offense after his quarterback and star running back turned the ball over the last series.
Okay, you get the punt of the first half award.
Well, he's got the lead, though. That's all that matters for Art Shell.
Quite true. Well, an entertaining first 30 minutes of football. That's the end of the first half. With our score, Los Angeles 17 and the Chicago Bears 10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. United Airlines, serving over 200 cities in the U.S. and around the world. Come fly the friendly skies. And by Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers. They'll get you noticed.
Over the years, much has changed about the game. Today, the best in the business fly. And the airline that takes over 300 college and pro teams to their chosen field is United. Come fly the friendly skies.
And now, on with the opera.
From the people who brought you big screen television comes the sound to go with it.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give it.
Mitsubishi Home Theater Systems. Now playing at a dealer near you.
You've been up in the air for hours. Now you got to make up the time. Aren't you glad Hertz has a faster, easier way to rent a car? #1 Club Gold. No paperwork, no stopping at counters, nothing to slow you down.
We're America's dreams.
You go straight to our Gold parking area, where your car is waiting, ready to go.
I'm gonna make it.
It's the fastest way to rent a car.
Welcome back to our studios in New York, everyone. Along with Terry Bradshaw, I'm Greg Gumbel. The game you are watching now, not a bad one so far. The Los Angeles Raiders leading the Chicago Bears in a battle of the unbeatens. 17-10. Raiders is the halftime score. And Jim Harbaugh had himself a peck of trouble in the second quarter. Stripped of the ball by Aaron Wallace, and Greg Townsend recovers.
You can see that Harbaugh spots his man downfield. As he cocked his arm to throw the ball, Aaron Wallace stripped him of the ball. Arm did not go forward.
That's the first fumble lost by the Bears this year. The Raiders lead it by a touchdown at halftime, 17-10. At Kansas City, the Chiefs leading the Cleveland Browns 24-0 as they approach halftime there. Steve DeBerg has thrown 47 yards to Rob Thomas. Nick Lowry a 39-yard field goal, and the Browns having a tough time getting it started offensively. At San Diego, the Chargers and the Oilers are tied at 7. That game is also in the second quarter. Anthony Miller has caught a 27-yard touchdown pass from Billy Joe Tolliver. Warren Moon has thrown one 9 yards to Drew Hill. They're at halftime in New England, and the Jets are leading the Patriots by a score of 24-6. Ken O'Brien, 11 for 16, 192 yards, and a 69-yard down pass to Rob Moore for the Jets in that game. Now, here is the latest from Victor Kiam. The New England owner has just announced that Bob Romano, his executive vice president of finance at Remington, will become the executive vice president of the Patriots. Kiam has agreed not to make any front office or player moves until the commissioner's office completes its investigation by a special counsel who will be appointed tomorrow. In a separate statement just issued, beleaguered Patriots general manager Patrick Sullivan said, quote, "I continue to remain general manager of the Patriots. I will operate with the club as I have in the past. I will cooperate with Victor Kiam and Paul Tagliabue in the investigation by the special counsel." Turning to Major League Baseball, it is a happy day in Pittsburgh. The Pirates on the road have clinched the National League East. The final score was 2-0. Doug Drabek wins his 22nd. The final out coming on the grounder by Denny Walling to second, and the throw to first clinches it for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are champions of the National League East. That means Thursday night here on CBS, you'll see the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. It gets underway at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. In the American League, the AL East is still to be decided. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Boston Red Sox today by a score of 10-5. Helped along the way by this home run from Junior Felix. The solo shot gave the Blue Jays a 5-4 lead. They expanded that to 10-5 before the game ended. The Boston Magic number is still 3. Fred McGriff, 4 for 6 and 3 RBIs on the day for the Toronto Blue Jays. More highlights still to come and scores from the games earlier this afternoon as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
When Buck's bad call blows the big game, will he strike out at home?
You can all blow it out your shirt.
Uncle Buck. Then,
the connection between a general and his staff secretary has to be almost psychic.
The Major gets a new boss.
Quick! What am I thinking?
Major Dad after Uncle Buck, Monday.
A woman becomes trapped inside a deadly inferno while her family watches in helpless horror.
I said, God, take her before she burns.
Rescue 911, Tuesday.
This is CBS.
Hey, don't wanna just drive. I wanna feel good.
It's hot. It's new. It's totally redesigned, and you're going to feel good about it. The new 91 Ford Escort with a more powerful engine, more interior room, a sleek new look, and loaded with great features like air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, and more. New 91 Escort started around $79.70, so feel good about it.
See a Ford dealer and feel good about it. Feel good about it.
Yo, shut up. This is a movie. Listen up. You don't know the dude, Quincy's first name. Listen up.
Listen up. Listen up. Listen up.
Back on the block, so we can rock with the song. Listen up.
The Lives of Quincy Jones.
From the music that made the man to the man that made the music. Listen up. The Lives of Quincy Jones. Go see it. Why wouldn't you? Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, October 5th at a theater near you.
Mr. Ian McKenzie. I'm Angus McKenzie. Ian's moved down the road.
Today, with service to more than 180 countries,
Oh, you've been wanting Ian Alistair Mackenzie.
UPS delivers to nearly 4 billion people,
Also for McKenzie.
including the extraordinary concentration of Mackenzies along the northeast coast of Scotland.
Mr. Ian Alistair McKenzie. No trouble finding me, did you, lad? No trouble at all.
UPS, we run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
Mike Ditka and Johnny Morris on Channel 2's Bears Extra, tonight at 10:30.
Greg Gumbel with Terry Bradshaw with a look at the early games and highlights this afternoon. The Dallas Cowboys against the New York Giants. The Giants' Phil Simms, a 7-yarder to Bob Morosco just before halftime to give the Giants a 17-3 lead. Then he came back with one to Rodney Hampton out of the backfield.
Simms looks to his left. That froze the free safety, Greg, allowing Hampton to get fine pass by Simms to Hampton.
The Giants win it. The Indianapolis Colts win it against the Eagles on the last play of the game. Jack Trudeau to Bill Brooks from 6 yards out, and then kicker Dean Biasucci. All he had to do was hit the extra point. He did. With no time on the clock, the Colts win it 24-23. Tampa Bay at Minnesota in overtime. Rich Gannon is intercepted.
A little slant pass to Anthony Carter. He bobbles it. Good throw. There's the interception. One play was run by Tampa Bay, and then the field goal to win the football game.
Steve Christie from 36 yards out with the game on the line. And the Bucks win it by 3, 23-20 in overtime. At the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, Green Bay and the Lions. Don Majkowski puts up a prayer with a minute left, and Jeff Query answers it.
Right. Majkowski was hit. McQuarrie makes the catch, but the pass actually was intended for another receiver.
Eddie Murray, meanwhile, missing the 44-yarder that would have tied it. His 4th miss of the game. Green Bay holds on to win it by 3. Denver at Buffalo. John Elway fumbles a snap deep in his own territory. Cornelius Bennett recovered, and on the very next play, Denver leading 21-9. They saw that lead dissolve. Kenneth Davis scores on a 2-yard run. Buffalo, a big comeback to win it by 1, 29-28. And at Pittsburgh, the Steeler offense still having trouble. Against Miami, there's the man under the gun, offensive coordinator Joe Walton of the Steelers. Bubby Brister, another tough day behind the line.
Say it ain't so. It's hard to believe after 4 games the Steelers have yet to score their first touchdown, and now you have to ask yourself, will that be a new quarterback in for the Steelers?
Dan Marino, 35 yards here to Mark Clayton. The Dolphins, easy over Pittsburgh, 28-6.
When it's your business, you do what you have to do. For example, if a customer needs something in a hurry and you have to unload the truck yourself, you do it. That's what an owner does for a customer. That's why I rent cars from Avis.
Avis is the only major rent-a-car company owned by its employees, and they're trying harder with Roving Rapid Return, a computerized drop-off system now at more locations than ever to get you on your way faster.
They say that you can't please everybody. I say an owner's sure gonna try.
Avis, we're trying harder than ever.
Now, I'm minding my own business, and this guy on the phone is chewing my ear off about how I gotta leave AT&T. Save big, we're better. So, now I'm wondering what's in the fine print. Like, where do these savings come from? If I got a problem with my bill, should I speak to a machine, or can I maybe talk to somebody with a pulse? They say switch and save.
Don't take their word for it. Have them put it in writing.
So I said to the guy, let's put it in writing. Guy says, excuse me? You know and I know. It's still not AT&T.
Ready for some good news? If your car is in an accident and you have Allstate insurance, you can leave it in our hands. Allstate's recommended pro shops can do everything, including the estimate, in one stop. And to make you feel even better, Allstate will guarantee their workmanship for as long as you own your car. Well, that's the news. Now, be careful. You're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
When are we going to get a maid?
We don't need a maid. That's why we had kids.
Catch the show People magazine called one of the season's happiest surprises.
Yes.
Lenny. Then, has Dr. Mike met his dream date?
What do you feel like eating?
How's lobster sound?
Like this.
Or his worst nightmare? Doctor, right after Lenny, Wednesday.
What's he done to my baby?
A child held hostage pushes a cop to a chilling decision.
I had to do something.
Top Cops, Wednesday.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Today's Chevrolet, who invite you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Toshiba Copiers. Before your copier gets the best of you, get a better copier. Toshiba Copiers. And by America's favorite light beer, Miller Lite, the sole sponsor of the NFL Player of the Year Award.
Raiders lead at 17-10 as we near the kickoff to start the second half. And they have gotten to that point by big plays and one defensive recovery for a touchdown. I'm thinking, Dan, about Mike Ditka saying the Bears need 24 points to win. We didn't think he was right, but he's close to it.
Well, if he gets 24 now and shuts the Raiders out, he would win by 7. But this has been anything but a defensive struggle that we thought coming in. Both these teams obviously with great defenses, but their offenses have been a little bit dormant so far this year. Right now, we're seeing it all. We've had reverses and halfback passes along bombs from both ball clubs.
Let's check it statistically as we begin the third quarter of play. At the half, the Bears with a 4.6 yards per rush. The Raiders better that. Total yards, 255 already for Los Angeles. And there have been 3 turnovers in the game, including the first fumble lost by the Bears this year. It went for a touchdown as Aaron Wallace sacked Jim Harbaugh. And then Greg Townsend recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. One of the great moments for any athlete is walking down the tunnel of this historic facility in Los Angeles. Here moments ago were the Los Angeles Raiders.
And as you come out onto the field, you feel the history of this great stadium. And it looks like the Raiders are going to be here for another 20 years. It'll be interesting to see how they change it, though. But as a ball player, that is one of the grand entrances coming out onto this field.
When was the first time you made that walk? As a student at Oregon?
No, actually, I came here with my dad back in 1957 with the San Francisco 49ers. They were playing the Rams in an exhibition game. And in those days, the 49ers and Rams in the Coliseum, they used to average 100,000 fans here. And as a little 6-year-old, believe me, it still sends chills up my spine.
Matter of fact, you were a ball boy for the 49ers, if I recall.
Well, at that time, they just let me handle the water.
I see.
The balls were too big for me.
Bears will receive. And Dennis Gentry and Johnny Bailey drift back, waiting Jeff Jager's kickoff. 17-10 Los Angeles. And again, Jager sends it well into the end zone, and the Bears will take it after the touchback at their own 20-yard line. The only Chicago touchdown came on an 80-yard first down pass play from that man to Dennis Gentry. And at the time, that tied the score at 7-7. Los Angeles got the first touchdown, then we were tied at 7-7. Raiders went on top 10-7, extended that to 17-7 on the fumble recovery in the end zone. And then Chicago got a field goal 22 yards out by Kevin Butler to narrow it to 17-10. And that's where we stand as we start quarter number 3. Muster and Bailey in the backfield. Johnny Bailey. Oh, it was Neil Anderson, beg your pardon. It was Anderson who starts this half.
And he's well padded. He has on rib pads and all kinds of things under that jersey. You know, he won't feel it probably today, all the shots he'll take, but on that plane ride back to Chicago, he's going to feel a little bit tender.
We were chatting with Neil yesterday. And look who's on the sideline.
Yeah, that guy wears purple and yellow, though, and I think he's a real man.
How about Magic Johnson giving some of his salary back to the Lakers so they could sign Terry Teagle under the salary cap? Here's another reverse. This time it's Dennis Gentry. He's got 2 blockers in front. And they give him a hold. He's got a first down at the 34. Dennis Gentry on the reverse. Elvis Patterson with the tackle.
Not only did Gentry have 2 blockers in front, but he gets a great block from Harbaugh right at the end of this, right about there. Just another shield block by the quarterback. Scott Davis can't make the play, and now Gentry, looking like a kickoff returner, gets up the sideline, and another trick play for Chicago.
That is a gain of 11 and a first down at the 34. Opening moments, quarter number 3. Before a very good crowd. Raiders haven't drawn all that well in Los Angeles, but they're well above 70 today. Harbaugh looks left all the way and puts it on the line to James Thornton, the tight end. That's his 3rd catch. He had only 2 in the first 3 games. And Thornton will stay on the bench.
Talk about crowds, Vern. I was here for the Chargers and the Raiders final preseason game, and they literally were counting people by noses. There was only about 25,000 noses here that day.
Boy, that can look like a dormant stadium. Second down. Brad Muster struggles for an extra yard out to the 42-yard line after Jerry Robinson, number 57, made the tackle.
Yeah, but look at all the guys that are still laying on the ground for the Raiders as Muster makes a couple miss, and that's something that Bear fans hadn't seen his first couple of years. But he is healthier than he's been in a long time and running extremely well. Not many football teams can field 3 number 1 picks in the same backfield, but the Bears do it with Muster, Anderson, and Harbaugh.
Brad Muster, collegiately at Stanford. And a 4 wide receiver set now on 3rd and 3. Shotgun formation. Jay Hilgenberg over the ball. 3-man rush, and on a slant pattern, the catch is made by Ron Morris, and that's a first down Chicago at the Los Angeles 49-yard line. A gain of 10.
Well, Harbaugh is finding where Morris is, and this is against Torn Dorn. A beautiful throw. Nice and low in there. And if he's a baseball pitcher, this ball strike 3 right on the corner.
Put it right where Ron Morris could make the catch. And that's a first down. Now they move the ball back to the 49-yard line. The Chicago 49. They had spotted the ball at the Raider 49. They moved it back 2 yards. Anderson, Muster, and 2 tight ends in. Neil Anderson with Brad Muster in front. Anderson down to the 45-yard line. Leading scorer in the National Football League coming in with 30 points, as well as the leading rusher in the NFC.
Good job by the men up front, but watch Muster come through here and really clear a path for his running mate, Neil Anderson. Thornton with a good reach block, but now watch Muster accelerate, knock out the strong safety Elvis Patterson, and Anderson cuts right off his hip for about 6.
Brings up a second down from the 45. The need is 4 yards. 17-10. Los Angeles. Play fake. And Harbaugh can run. He's got all kinds of room. And slides down with another Chicago first down at the 37.
You know, Harbaugh's averaging 4.5 yards per carry coming into this ball game, and that's really a dimension that a lot of defenses can't account for. Very rarely will you take one man out of your defense and say, okay, you've got the quarterback when he runs. Obviously, the Bears found the Raiders in a defense where there was nobody that would account for the quarterback.
Normally, you use what they call a spy system in that circumstance, right?
And the Raiders will do that today, but in certain situations.
Right.
Not in that one.
When you say spy, you mean you do designate one man to account for the quarterback. See it a lot against the Philadelphia Eagles and Randall Cunningham. 1st and 10, Chicago. And here's another little bit of a gadget play. As Anderson starts to his left and reverses field, comes back to his right, and picks up a modest 3 yards, and you can tell he is feeling the hits.
Well, maybe I was a little premature in saying he wasn't going to feel much today. This one he feels. Again, a misdirection play by the Bears. And this is really out of respect for the Raider defense. Big hit there. And Anderson will be slow getting up after that one. But the Raiders play a lot of man-to-man, and they are very aggressive in their pursuit to the ball. That's why we're seeing all these misdirection and reverse type of plays.
Anderson with 6 carries, 27 yards now. 2nd down and 7 from the 35 of the Raiders. Harbaugh, flag is down, and bring the play back and discuss the penalty.
They stopped this before the ball was snapped. So this will be against Chicago for a false start.
False start, 78 offense. 5-yard penalty, go first down.
Keith Van Horn.
We talked about Mark Carrier playing a lot of college ball here. Well, it's been about 10 years for Keith Van Horn, but he played his collegiate ball at USC. He probably just wanted to have his number announced to the crowd. Did you hear the crowd cheer for him?
Right. 3rd penalty against Chicago. It has been a relatively error-free game. Matter of fact, last week the Bears were flagged for only 3 penalties. Willie Gault looking on. Of course, he's a former Bear, and he said, this is just another game.
Right.
Right. Harbaugh in trouble. Dishes it out left. This time there is no grasp and control call. And Neil Anderson gets it down to the 35, which is close to the original line of scrimmage. That brings up a 3rd down.
One of the remarkable things about this game so far, Vern, is the Raiders have been called for absolutely 0 penalties.
None.
And they're usually right up there among the league leaders.
Matter of fact, 20 penalties against the Raiders coming in today. Now Ricky Ellison gets a rest. Dan Land and Torin Dorn have come in on 3rd and 9. Harbaugh deep for Morris. It's a one-on-one matchup, and Torin Dorn knocks it away. The rookie from North Carolina, stride for stride with Ron Morris.
Well, Morris gets behind Dorn, but the ball hangs up in the air, allows the cornerback to catch up. Fine job of keeping in contact with the receiver with his right hand, seeing where the ball is, and then going up with his left hand and knocking it away. That came close to going all the way through and into Morris's hands for the 6.
And they're outside the field goal range of Kevin Butler, so on 4th down and 9, Maury Buford will try for the coffin corner kick. He comes to the near side. And Maurice Douglas is down there to down this ball at the 1-foot line. Boy, Douglas was right under the ball all the way.
A lot of patience by Douglas.
Maury Buford with the punt that is down at the 1. Raiders have it, but they're 99 yards and 2 feet away.
game of baseball's championship season is here on CBS.
You know, I love coming to the park with their major. Because there's nothing better than spending a little time with man's two best friends. His dog and his beer. Miller Lite, the less filling beer that really tastes great. Hey, where's Major?
Miller Lite, where less filling really tastes great.
Hey, where you been?
There's a new attitude at Northwest Airlines, a new dedication to service. You can see it in our on-time performance, the best of the top 7 U.S. airlines. That's our commitment, to make sure you're on time for your commitments.
We tested STP oil treatment under the worst possible conditions. In the taxi cabs in New York City. The result? Engine lift to wear was reduced by up to 50%. And now there's an STP for your newer car, too.
The time has come for a new kind of full-size luxury that lasts. The 1991 Chevrolet Caprice. Unsurpassed corrosion protection helps keep the body durable. A clear coat finish keeps it beautiful. An extensive warranty keeps it protected. Because something this good-looking should be kept around for a long, long time. The time has come for Chevrolet Caprice. Prepare to be impressed.
Pirates wrapped up the National League East today with a 2-0 victory over St. Louis, so it's the Pirates going into Cincinnati, Game 1, the National League Championship Series, Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern on CBS as we stay with you throughout the completion of the World Series. Right here, 7:04 to go, third quarter. And from the end zone, Schrader with a good play fake. And deep down the right side. Incomplete, incidental contact, and now a flag is thrown. Donnell Wolford might have a legitimate claim to offensive pass interference. Let's see what the call is.
You got it right, Vern. The Bears at least say that it's against the Raider receiver.
Boy, talk about judgment calls. To the back judge, Louis Richard, who made the call.
We've got a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, a spear after the incompleted pass. It'll be 15 yards from the previous spot and a first down.
So it was not pass interference at all.
No, and it's against the Bears. This is Galt against Wolford. There's the incidental contact. And there's the spear. I'm not so sure that that's a good call, but if the official says that Carrier led with his helmet, then it is a good call. Obviously, that's what he did call. The break for Chicago here is that the ball is 15 yards from the line of scrimmage now. That'll move it out to almost the 16 instead of having the ball all the way across midfield.
Mike Ditka reacting to the call.
You know, Carrier leads with his shoulder. He gets the same impact without the penalty.
The call, I'm sure, was leading with the helmet. Here's Smith in motion. The toss to Greg Bell. Big hole. And Bell is down at the 23, brought there by Ron Rivera, number 59.
Real good patience for Bell as he sets up his fullback, Steve Smith, with a nice block there. The kick out. Look how Smith stays with Morrissey. But Bell had a lot to do with it by staying on his hip and waiting to the last minute to make that cut. Good teamwork in the backfield.
Second down, 4 from the 22. 6:15 to go, third quarter. Raiders lead it 17-10. Bell, kick out block. Smith on Morrissey again, but this time Jim Morrissey gets some help, particularly in the form of Mike Singletary, number 50. And let's watch the familiar figure of Mike Singletary at work.
Easy for you to say.
Yes, no, it's not.
The man who wants to be regarded as the best linebacker to play middle linebacker in the history of the game, Mike Singletary, building a pretty good case for himself.
Those familiar fingers will get you every time.
Well, now we're even, pal.
Art Shell looking on at a man who someday might join him in the Hall of Fame, Mike Singletary. 5:22 to go, third quarter. Third down. Here's Bell going right. Stopped short, and the Raiders will have to punt. And that, quite frankly, is one of the few times that the Bear defense stopped Los Angeles today.
And the key word there in that statement was the Bear defense. They came with an all-out run defense. Sean Gale, you saw him turn that play in. The play before, Sean Gale was up there in a very familiar spot playing that Bear defense.
Matter of fact, to underline that statement we just made, here's Jeff Gossett's first punt of the day. He leads the league in net punt yardage, 37 yards per return, or per punt. Johnny Bailey is back. Mike Ditka said yesterday he's improved 100% since game one when he bobbled a couple. Here's a fair catch. Bailey at the 35. And there is a net punt for Jeff Gossett of 41 yards. 4:29 to go, third quarter. Bailey's fair catch has given Chicago a first down at the 35-yard line.
Before your copier gets the best of you, get a better copier.
To help insure your dreams. To make you feel safe and secure.
We built this business to build your future.
ITT built these businesses into leaders. We built them by taking care of people.
We built this business. We built this business to build your dreams.
Last year, more truck owners switched to Chevrolet than to any other truck.
Listen to the heartbeat.
Nearly 200,000 in just 1 year. So if you're still not driving a Chevy, what are you waiting for? More people are winning with
The heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
Now there's a new way to look at America and a new place to look at the world. CBS News presents America Tonight, beginning Monday.
Let's bring you up to date as to how we got where we are. The Raiders went on top on Marcus Allen's 1-yard run midway through the first quarter, and then an 80-yard pass. Gentry and Harbaugh tied it up. 18 seconds later, Jager's 27-yard field goal made it 10-7. Townsend's fumble recovery in the end zone, 17-7, and then a field goal by Butler, 17-10, and that's where we are. Here is Golick chasing Jim Harbaugh, and Harbaugh is knocked out of bounds finally by Ricky Ellison, number 50. Steve Wright on the sideline, telling us yesterday that when he came into the league from Northern Iowa, he was one of 110 free agents trying to make the Dallas Cowboy roster. 3 made it. Steve Wright, Everson Walls, and Michael Downs. Pretty long odds.
Yeah, really. You know, what is that, 3 out of 110? I'll get that for you in a little bit here.
No fair going for that computer. Come on, get the calculator out of your hand. Second down and 1. Toss to Johnny Bailey. Skips over Brad Muster and gets to the 50-yard line. Bailey, who electrified Bears fans with a couple of touchdown runs in preseason.
Watch Brad Muster get out in front of this play, and again, it's almost like having another offensive lineman in the backfield. There's the great kick-out block, and Bailey, knowing what he needed for the first down, got straight up the field.
Ron Morris getting ready to come out of that offensive set. Now he'll go to the far side. Johnny Bailey with 5 carries for 16 yards now. First and 10, Chicago. They trail 17-10, 3:15 to go, third quarter. There's that toss, sweep to the right. And a modest gain of a couple. Chicago opened this season by blanking Seattle 17-0. Then they won in Green Bay, and then that thrilling win over Minnesota last week. Raiders opened with a defensively oriented win against Denver. Went up to Seattle and scored twice in the fourth quarter and demolished Pittsburgh 20-3. That's how they both got to 3-0. Right now the Raiders lead it. It's second down and 7. Chicago. Harbaugh across the middle. Had Mustard.
This is not Mustard's fault. This ball is just thrown too hard. Mustard has to reach out. If Harbaugh just takes a little bit off this pass, look at the hole for Mustard as he would run right by Jerry Robinson, number 57. But here's a guy, you know, that Mustard's been blocking, running with the ball and everything. He has pass-catching ability, but he's got to be able to see the ball to make that grab. That ball is just a little bit too swift for him.
Bears not doing well on third downs today. 7 yards needed here. 4-man rush by the Raiders. A lot of time for Harbaugh. Double coverage, tipped and incomplete. Intended for Morris. And Elvis Toast Patterson knocked it down.
This is a forced job by Harbaugh as he throws it to Morris, and Elvis, a former teammate of mine in San Diego. We call them Elvis Laheim Patterson.
Laheim?
As in toast, you know.
Boy, you take a circuitous route to the punchline. Those of you who don't know the story is Maury Buford almost had, that may have been deflected as a matter of fact. And Tim Brown comes up. It'll be down at the 25, and A.J. Jimerson might have got a hand on it. It'll be the Raiders' ball. Toast Patterson nicknamed that by his former Giants teammate because he got burned so often.
Not long ago, one of the first Lumina sedans was bought by a family of 5. They said they liked how smooth it was, all the room it had, and they liked the price. Since then, the Lumina sedan has quickly become the best-selling new car name in America. Apparently, a lot of people are winning with
the heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
And now it's easier than ever to win with the heartbeat.
From the Far East to Europe. Across the Caribbean and throughout North America, only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth.
You know, I love coming to the park with Air Major. Because there's nothing better than spending a little time with man's 2 best friends. His dog and his beer. Miller Lite, the less filling beer that really tastes great. What's this?
That's mine.
Yeah, doggy.
Miller Lite, where less filling really tastes great.
The Black and Blue Division is in for another brawl. Packers, Bears, Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Next weekend, 12:30 Eastern.
Well, before we see the Bears in Green Bay next week, college football last night, Florida State had to struggle but defeated Virginia Tech, and Miami rolled over Iowa. Next Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern, Florida State against Miami. College football on CBS. From the 25, split backs. First down, Schrader, 3-step drop. Right side for Willie Gault, caught by the linebacker, Ron Rivera. And Donnell Wolford was right up there. Final 2:05 of the third quarter.
Yeah, Schrader read the defense that time, saw Richard Dent lined up as a middle linebacker, and he went to the audible to the quick pass outside to Willie Gault. And one reason the Bears like to use Dent as that middle linebacker in that Bear run-oriented defense is so that they can free him up if it's a pass against a blocking back instead of having to go against the offensive tackle.
2nd down and 3 now. Stinson up bumping on Willie Gault. Now he backs off about 8 yards. Toss to the opposite side of the field. Greg Bell caught and dropped. Tried to cut back to the left. And Mickey Pruitt, or rather Refrigerator Perry, William Perry, was there to help on the tackle. What fun we had yesterday meeting with Bob Golick and his dog, an Alaskan Malamute. Wait, what?
He weighed more than you. 110 pounds, and his name was Magnum.
Magnum.
And, you know, they say that dogs sometimes resemble their owners.
Right.
I'm not saying that Bob Golick looks like a dog, but his dog is kind of shaggy, you know.
If you think I'm helping you, I hope it's not too lonesome out on that limb. Here's Schrader. Tipped and incomplete. And Mark Carrier almost had the pick. It was intended for Mervyn Fernandez.
Mark Carrier's doing a great job of entertaining his family. Saw him get that interception that was called back, got the fumble recovery, and if he had been able to make that grab, he might have scored. And that's what his family's going to tell him after the ball game. Guarantee you.
If they can see it. I mean, they're way up there in nosebleed country. Here's Jeff Gossett with his 2nd punt, and Johnny Bailey waits for it for 32. 17-10. Final 44 seconds, quarter number 3, no scoring in this half. And the rush was coming. Now Bailey waits for it at the 28. Still loose, not now. Down at the 27. 44-yard punt. And Sam Grady was downfield on special teams. 33 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play. The Raiders still cling to a 7-point lead.
Just a reminder, proper maintenance with AC Delco parts can significantly reduce premature wrinkles. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
They'll never stop until you and your family are dead.
If you're aiming to kill Steven Seagal,
I don't know if that'd be a very wise career move.
you only get one chance.
Don't believe Bob?
Then, it's his turn.
One thought he was invincible. The other thought he could fly. They were both wrong.
Steven Seagal is marked for death.
Is that right?
Rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Here's another demonstration of Chevy versus Ford. This one has socially redeeming value. We're loading up these full-size pickups with recyclables. The Chevy has a standard payload advantage of over 400 pounds.
That's a pile of payload the Ford leaves behind.
No wonder so many truck owners recycle their trucks for Chevy. More people are winning with
The heartbeat of America.
today's truck is Chevrolet.
Downtown Los Angeles in the distance from Memorial Coliseum, where a good crowd has gathered, and they are seeing an outstanding football game. 17-10. The Raiders lead it over the Chicago Bears. The final 33 seconds of quarter number 3. Now Jim Harbaugh, who is 7 of 14 for 150 yards, but half of that, more than half, on one play. His first pass of the day, 80 yards to Dennis Gentry. Here's Harbaugh back. The pressure's coming. They got him. 3rd sack of the day. And he is down at the 18-yard line. Bob Golick made the tackle.
Good pressure by the Raiders, but watch how long Harbaugh holds this ball, waiting for somebody to get open. Golick does a nice job of chasing him around, and then Piquel and Mike Charles lay the wood to him. This is not what the Bears want to have to do, though, is to come back from these sacks. This is already the third so far today, and of course, the Raiders got a free touchdown. The Harbaugh sack and fumble earlier.
Meanwhile, Jay Schroeder has not been touched. This could be the final play, will be the final play of this quarter. Harbaugh punts. That's batted in the line and incomplete. Ricky Ellison almost picked it off. That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Chicago 10, the Raiders 17. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
Just when I was about to give up asking, he says yes. First I thought, keep it simple, but this only happens once, right? So, I want a white leather dress with matching boots and flowers, silk flowers, and I want the whole thing videotaped so my family will believe it really happened, and a band that knows Stairway to Heaven. Yeah! We're finally gonna do it! Now I just gotta find it all.
Okay, let's say that last month, between that unexpected change in the weather and that raise you could actually see for once, and those 12 charges you made, your finances were all over the place. Well, if you had a City One account, you could sum up that whole incredible month in one place. All those transfers and checks, how much you charged and saved, right there on one simple statement. Looking at banking through your eyes. It makes a difference you can see at a glance. Not just banking, City Banking.
The U.S. used a satellite to study Venus. The Soviets used a satellite to study Mars. Now, Lexus is using a satellite to pinpoint Tim Murphy's last oil change. At Lexus, we're linked to a satellite system that can instantly transmit your maintenance history to any dealer in the country. You see, we don't just promise you the sky, we deliver it.
Marla Gibbs gets a lesson in love on 227, Monday at 3:30.
Bear defense getting ready to come on the field. Steve McMichael on the right-hand side. We're going to continue our animal pet story. You mentioned that Golic had an Alaskan Malamute and looked like him. Now, what about McMichael? He and his wife have a Chihuahua and a toy poodle. Take your pick.
Well, I think the key is that his wife has those animals. This doesn't look like a man to me that would have a toy poodle and a Chihuahua, unless he likes to carry them around in his pockets.
Got them both. We wouldn't lie. Ming the Merciless, he's been called by Dan Hampton, his teammate. We begin the final quarter. And Harbaugh out of the shotgun on third and a mile. Has a man open. Ron Morris can't hang on. Lionel Washington was doing the defensive work.
Well, Harbaugh's just throwing this ball up for grabs here. Double coverage by the Raiders. Dan Land, number 25, will come over as he reads the pattern. This ball gets through to Morris, but the close coverage there by Washington, and then Land comes over and knocks it out for sure.
Maury Buford had a ball deflected by A.J. Jimerson last time he punted. And this will be his sixth punt of the afternoon to Tim Brown. Short punt. Fair catch called by Brown. He backs away from it and did not touch it. It's down now. And David Tate downs it after a 25-yard punt. Well, the Bear defense comes on. Here's Tim Brown. Steve McMichael, long holdout before he signed just at the end of camp, and he and Dan Hampton, Refrigerator Perry, rotating in and out.
They have an interesting future ahead of themselves. McMichael said, you know, he wants to team up with the Fridge. You know, they already got the nicknames, the Fridge and Ming the Merciless. They're going to be the tag team. Hampton's going to be their manager, Billy the Brain or something like that. Bobby the Brain, yeah. And Ming wants to go platinum. Waiting all his life to go platinum. Well, he's here in Hollywood.
First and 10 Raiders. Tim Ryan is in defensively as well. Another Southern Cal player. Well, that one really got fouled up. And Schrader is down at the 43. Richard Dent makes the tackle in the 95. Here's a whoops in the Raider backfield.
Boy, you're not kidding. Allen concentrating, waiting to get this ball. There's his grab for it. Where'd it go? Well, now he sees the quarterback who should be punished for the missed handoff there, but boy, Richard Dent really got him a shot across the eyes, it looked like.
Schrader only 1 sack in the last 2.5 games. He's not been touched behind the line today. 2nd down and 9. He gained 1 last play. Schrader. Oh, nice defensive job by Ron Rivera. And Ethan Horton. Rivera right there.
And he's punishing his hands, pounding them on the ground. Watch how the ball goes right through Rivera's hands as he has the tight coverage on the tight end. Ethan Horton on the left side of the screen, but Schrader throws his ball behind his tight end. Rivera almost had the pick, and now all he has is grass stains in his fingernails.
How about this offensive line for the Raiders, though? Graves and Wisniewski and Mosbar, Montoya and Wright. No sacks today, and the Bears came in defensively having obtained 11 sacks in 3 games. Schrader back. And again, good protection. Man open, sliding catch at the 23. Mervin Fernandez.
You called it absolutely right, Vern. Just tremendous pass protection from the entire offensive line. Armstrong came in with 5 sacks, Dent with 4, but they haven't even got close to Schrader as he really fires the fastball.
And Jay Schrader, who said, if we're going to win, I've got to play well.
Not only does he throw strikes, he calls them after he does. Did you see that?
At the 23, 17-10, Raiders lead it. Steve Smith with Marcus Allen providing the block, and Smith is inside the 15. Flag is down.
Holding, 88 offense, 10-yard penalty, replay the first down.
Ethan Horton.
Well, there are a lot of ways to thank your teammates for doing a good job. You can verbalize it all you want, but Marcus Allen just said thank you to his fullback, Steve Smith, with that kick-out block there on Stinson. Unfortunately for the Raiders, Horton got called for the penalty.
That is the first accepted penalty against Los Angeles today. And it sets up a first down at 20. 12:45 to go in the ball game. This battle of unbeatens. And here's the reverse. Mervin Fernandez with a couple of blocks and is out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Flag is down again at the 28.
We got illegal use of the hands of the face, number 76 defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, tacked on from the end of the run, and automatic first down.
Ming the Merciless is using a wrestling hold.
Yeah, that was the eye gouge. Starting his new career a little too soon. The bad part about that penalty is it negates the penalty before where the Bears had gotten the free 10 yards. Not only does it move it down the field, it gives the Raiders a first down.
And a first down from the 15-yard line. You see the view Mike Ditka has as his defensive team tries to hold the Raiders out of the end zone. They've done that so far in this half. Schrader has 2 wide receivers to the right side. He hands it off to Smith. And Smith is inside the 10.
Now that offensive line of the Raiders, they're really taking control now. We've seen the nice pass protection they've given the quarterback, but now they just get man-on-man. Use all that weight they have up front and push people back and let that big fullback get in behind them, pick up about 5.
Vince Tobin calling defensive signals for Chicago.
That's the problem with there's no signals that will negate power. Right now, the Raiders are playing power football.
Second down. Smith again. And he is bumped backwards. Stinson in there, down at the bottom. John Roper, number 55. And Mike Singletary. And that will bring up a third down. Our score was 17-10 at the half. The difference in the ball game right now was a touchdown on a fumble. Aaron Wallace sacked Jim Harbaugh at the 3. The ball drifted into the end zone, and Greg Townsend pounced on it. That was in the second quarter. That made the score 17-7 at the time. It's 17-10 now. Tim Brown into the wide receiver, slotted to the right side. He now goes in motion. Third down. Option play. Schrader. Allen. And that might be enough to move the chain. It's going to be close.
This is an old college play by a couple of college adversaries, really. Schrader, the UCLA Bruin. Of course, Marcus Allen played across the street at USC, and they may. It's enough for a first down. Just enough.
First and goal.
But you see, Schrader, he uses his head here. There's really nobody to force him to pitch it, but he knows that Marcus Allen has a better shot at picking it up than he does. Boy, that's just great effort by Allen as he was cut off by the Bears. He cut up the field and just got it forward enough.
And once again, you see that committee. Now, Jay Schrader was saying yesterday, it sometimes takes a little too long for the play to be sent in. You got 5 guys, 6 guys trying to make a decision.
They're only down to 2 seconds. He's going to have to call timeout here. Nope.
Well, they made it. And Allen is down at the 3-yard line.
I looked at the 30-second clock, and it was at 1 before that ball was snapped. So that play calling by committee almost cost the Raiders 5 there, or a timeout.
Richard Dent with the tackle for Chicago. And the ball is between the 3 and 4. Second and goal. Strength of the formation to the right side, and Allen is in for the touchdown. They had him lined up tight right and loaded the right side.
There are very few backs in football that can get it in the end zone as well as Marcus Allen. The good cut, and then the slashing run, and then the extension across the goal line. He shows he can dive 2 inches off the ground just as well as maybe 5 feet in the air. What an athlete.
And in his fine career, that's his 83rd touchdown. Congratulations offered by Greg Townsend, who shares the touchdown honors today. It's 24-10 Raiders.
From the outback of Australia, you can see the lights of Paris. Or survey the castles of Frankfurt from atop the Great Wall. From Mount Fuji, you can see the Champs-Élysées. Through the eyes of a Buddha in Thailand, you can see the Rhine rolling through Germany. And from the Kansas heartland, see the heart of France. You can see it all on United, because the airline that spreads its wings across Asia and the U.S. now turns toward Europe, beginning with Frankfurt and Paris. Come see it all on the airline that spans more than half the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
and 540 Gs.
Raiders with 300 yards thus far, though only 55 in this half. Greg Townsend had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and Marcus Allen just got his second TD of the game. Coming into the game, Dan, the Bears have given up only 29 points total, and already today they've given up 24. Here's the kickoff, and it's taken by Johnny Bailey out to the 33-yard line.
Now you talk about balance, and all coaches say, well, we want to be balanced, pass and run. The Raiders are probably the most balanced scoring team in the league this year. 9 touchdowns so far, 4 rushing, 2 passing, and 3 by their defense. That's balance.
Bear defense, or Bear subs rather, looking on, as is Mike Ditka. They trail by 14 with 9:01 to go. Harbaugh, safety valve, fumble picked up by Harbaugh. Alert reaction by Jim Harbaugh. And I can't wait to see how they score that.
It's like an unassisted double play. Isn't
Yeah, 6-4 to 3 if you're scoring at home.
I don't know who does, but that was the old hitch and lateral, more like the hitch and fumble back.
Well, it'll be a completed pass, then a fumble, and a recovery.
Really heads-up play by Harbaugh as Buster gets hit from behind. It goes right to the quarterback. Now they're probably checking to see whether Muster ever had possession of this ball. But even if he didn't, the ball never hit the ground.
No.
It'd be a completion all the way back to the quarterback. How about that one?
Ever catch one of your own balls?
No, I always knocked them down. After I let it go, I didn't want to see it until the center gave it to me.
Danny does not want this.
No.
Singletary prowling the sideline, and the play will stand. A loss of 1 yard. Second down at 11. Deep down the middle, overthrows Thornton, and he was wide open.
Well, the Bears are in real trouble in this type of situation. They're not a team that can get behind and catch up in a hurry. They've only got about 8 minutes to do the catching up. Ditka said he needed 24 points to win this one. Well, 24 right now will only get them a tie.
And Chicago facing another third down. They are a rather mediocre 1 of 9 on third down conversions.
Well, they really missed Wendell Davis.
That's the 4th sack. No surprise, it's Greg Townsend.
Well, now, we talked about grasp and control before. This is grasp and control. Watch Townsend from the left side. There's the grasp, and now the control.
Townsend's second sack of the ball game and his 5th of the year, which, depending on what happened elsewhere around the league, would tie him with Trace Armstrong, who came in with 5 for Chicago but has none. Here's Tim Brown. -36 yards on the punt, -1 a turn. Greg Townsend with 2 sacks today and a touchdown, which is more important.
When you're on top, everybody wants a shot at you.
It's so hard to win in the world today, so you do the best in a better way.
That's why only one truck uses the most advanced durability testing. Why only one truck uses advanced tire testing to improve its suspension.
Ford trucks, the best ever ran.
That's why Ford trucks offer exclusive push-button 4-wheel drive and have robotic windshield installation for perfect fits every time.
And to stay on top, you know you can't stand still, cause you don't know how, and you never will. Ford trucks, The best never ends.
While the competition tries to make trucks as good as ours, we never stop working to make ours even better.
Ford Trucks. The best never ends.
The best-built, best-selling American trucks are built Ford Tough.
Wouldn't it be great if you were center ring facing the great Garbanzo in the wrestling match of the year? And wouldn't it be great if the sponsor was a beer? A really great beer like Keystone, the fresh cold filtered beer in a can that tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specially lime can. And wouldn't it be great if Garbanzo excused himself and you left with his manager, the lovely Darlene? Cold filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? AT&T, the right choice. And by Keystone and Keystone Light, bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Back to play, and here's Napoleon McCallum getting his first carry of the ball game. The one-time naval ensign whose military obligations are now complete and is back in a Raider uniform, the team that drafted him out of the Naval Academy when he graduated. On the sideline, Jim Covert getting a tape job on his left shoe. Now, under the Uniform Code of National Football League regulations, he's got to spray paint that white tape black before he is in uniform.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Doesn't it? Second down and 10. Ball at the 40. Greg Bell gets the handoff, and McCallum tries to provide the blocks. Bell is caught, breaks the tackle. Look at him struggle.
Greg Bell. He knows that he just ran through the entire Bear defense, almost. Let's count them here.
What?
There's 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th man got him.
And we count better in unison than the Bears tackle. What a job by Bell. Keeps his legs going, and just terrible tackling by Chicago.
That's a gain of 12 and a first down. Schrader, Tim Brown, flag on Donnell Wolford.
Now Wolford's going to get called. He was a little bit too soon on the coverage.
Interference, 21 defense, first down.
And he's playing very loosely, but Wolford makes a nice break on the ball. Too nice as he gets there too soon. Oh, that's a tough call there. Looked like he got his right hand all the way through to the ball. But Tim Brown and the officials say pass interference. Bears are really up against it now. They need a turnover or this baby's over.
That is a 19-yard penalty and a first down at the Chicago 31. 6 penalties for a half 100 yards now against the Bears. Greg Bell. And he's down to the 28-yard line. Clock still winding down. 5:20 to play. By the way, just to update you on the sack totals, we were talking about Greg Townsend of the Raiders getting 2 today and having 5 for the season. Number 93, you see, for the Bears, Trace Armstrong came in with 5. He has none today. Well, Reggie White now leads the National Football League, the Philadelphia Eagle defensive lineman, with 6. Second down and 7. 24-10, Raiders trying to stay unbeaten. They'll keep it on the ground and work on the clock. And Bell is caught for a loss. Sean Gale, number 23, with the tackle this time.
That run by Greg Bell, where he ran through the entire Bear defense, really tilted this game in the favor of the Raiders. The Bears had a chance to stop him for a loss, bring up a 3rd and long passing situation, but they couldn't make the tackle. The next play, we get the penalty against Wolford. The ball has moved down the field now, and the Raiders are in position to just take time off the clock, leading by 2 touchdowns.
3rd and 11, and Vance Mueller makes an appearance in the offensive backfield now for Los Angeles. Bears are blitzing. Schrader gets great. Oh, no, he doesn't either. That's a fumble and a free ball. It's recovered by the Raiders. Mueller at the 45. Schrader hit from the backside by Ron Cox, number 54.
And that was the turnover the Bears needed but didn't get. Here's the shot in the back by Ron Cox. Now watch number 42, Vance Mueller, without his helmet, come running for this ball. He gets his helmet knocked off by Dent, but still picks up the loose ball and saves the Raiders.
Had to. He's the guy who was trying to block Ron Cox. It'll be 4th down. And Jeff Gossett, a terrific athlete, Gossett. Minor league baseball player at one time. Johnny Bailey, low snap. Gossett picks it up and heads to the left side. That's a short punt, and will be, it will belong to the Bears, I believe, outside the 20, yes. All the way up at the 27-yard line. Well, Chicago not a hurry-up football team, but they've got to hurry up now. They trail by 14 with 8 seconds shy of 3 minutes remaining in the football game. And Mike Tomczak is on.
AT&T, the right choice. In 1989, Redskins kicker Mark Mosley's record for consecutive field goals was broken. Who broke Mosley's record of 23 straight? Kevin Butler of the Bears? Eddie Murray of the Lions? Or Scott Norwood of the Bills? Which would you choose?
Patterson at 9, Williams at 11. Then the Walton presentation. What a day. Hi, Mike Smith to see Mr. Patterson.
Mr. Patterson's tied up, but he'd like you to wait.
There goes my schedule.
I'm glad you called. The Walton specs have changed.
We have to talk to the suppliers in England.
Okay. Your conference call is ready, sir.
When you're on the road, nobody has more ways to help you than AT&T.
Hope I haven't upset your schedule. No problem.
AT&T, how can we help you?
With 24 straight field goals, Kevin Butler established a new NFL record in 1989. If you said Butler, you made the right choice.
Largest of the year on hand at Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. No crowd count yet, but we'll pass it along to you. But they certainly are in excess of 75,000. And for the most part, it's been a well-behaved crowd. They had some violence here last week in the game against Pittsburgh. And because of that, they extra security on hand. They jacked up the price of beer, trying to hold down the sales, and they cut off the beer sales in the 4th quarter. Here's a pass complete out to the 50-yard line. The catch made by Tom Waddle, number 87. And that is his first catch of the year. Gain of 23 in the hurry-up offense with Mike Tomczak now in a quarterback. He has replaced Jim Harbaugh, lost the starting job in the preseason battle. Out of the shotgun from the 50. Ball batted down in the line. Was it McKell?
I believe so. This is a situation that not many quarterbacks really like. You know, your team's behind by 14. You got 3 minutes or so to go, and the coach taps you on the shoulder and says, "Kid, go get him." And you're playing against a fired-up Raider team. This is as good as the Raiders have looked in a long time.
7-5 a year ago, out of the playoffs. since 1985 when they were 12-4. But off to a 4-0 start, it would appear, for the first time since '84. And that is the 5th sack of a Bear quarterback today. Scott Davis gets this one.
The Bear offensive line is known for its great run blocking. This is not what they do very well, is protect the quarterback. They don't have to. Basically, their success is on the ground, and that's why we've seen so many sacks today.
Our Tom Zak back. There's 6. Aaron Wallace, the second-round draft pick from Texas A&M.
These two teams got together in the preseason, and the Raiders had 7 sacks against the Bears. Wallace 3 all by himself. So this is nothing new for the Raiders.
For the second consecutive week, the Raiders have registered 6 sacks against an opponent. 2-minute warning.
When the only thing better than making it to the top is making it to the bottom.
It's the right feel now.
Because you know looking good isn't just for summer.
It's the right feel now.
Because you know winter's the time to turn up the heat. So call for the Silver Bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
If your feathers have been ruffled by downdrafts in the market, get on board something big, safe, and secure. GetNet. It pays.
You've heard it said before. It's not just what you say. It's how you say it. LaserJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. They'll get you noticed.
You're looking at an environment that is in a constant state of change. The inner workings of an automobile that has seen over 300 refinements since its celebrated introduction. This dedication to continuous improvement assures you that when it comes to award-winning design, the beauty of Ford Taurus goes much further than skin deep.
Have driven a Ford
Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. The headlines at the checkout counters say, Roseanne puts voodoo curse on ex-hubby. Oprah spends $4 million to keep her man. Who are they kidding? Not 60 Minutes. Following 60 Minutes is Murder, She Wrote. And the CBS Sunday movie, The Face of Fear. That's all tonight on CBS. 4th and 25. Tim Brown with a fair catch at the 27-28-yard line. And this Los Angeles Raider team has it back following a 37-yard punt. Mike Ditka, time to regroup, go back home against the Green Bay Packers. Willie Gault, the former Bear, it must mean something special to him, though he insisted yesterday, nope, just another game. And right there was one of the characters in the National Football League, a fellow by the name of Run Run Jones. We'll talk a little bit more about Run Run Jones in a minute. And Vince Evans is in at quarterback. With 1:53 to go. (24-10) Raiders. Napoleon McCallum and Vance Bueller are the setbacks behind Vince Evans. Then they'll work on the clock out to the 31. There's Run Run Jones. George Run Run Jones, Dan.
I thought that was the face of fear. But Run Run here, he is the world's oldest ball boy. He started hanging out with the Raiders up in Oakland and just made a pest of himself so much that they had to hire him.
Well, he was a roller derby star, from what I understand.
You bet he was. Kezar Pavilion. Bay Bombers.
I want you to know I don't remember it. There's a handoff to McCallum out to the 36-yard line. Chicago, under Mike Ditka, a terrific record to open the year, 19-1 since 1985. The only loss was 2 years ago to Minnesota. So they will be 19-2 after today.
And interesting, the Bears have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but Ditka, in effect, has tossed the towel in on this one.
Well, he wants Greg and Terry to have time to wrap up all the scores back in our New York studio.
You think they'll have enough time?
Everybody, let's go.
80,000 plus on hand today. 156. And the Chicago Bears fall to 3-1. Greg Townsend with 2 sacks and a fumble recovery for a touchdown leads Art Shell's Los Angeles Raider defense to a 24-10 victory. Greg and Terry standing by in New York for the post-game show. Our final score, 24-10. Stay tuned.